A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
In just a moment, X-1. But first, after a hard day's work, there's nothing more welcome than an evening of variety entertainment. That's just the tonic provided tomorrow night by NBC Radio. You'll laugh your cares away when good-natured contestants carry out the rib-tickling stunts dreamed up by MC Jack Bailey on NBC's Truth or Consequences. Later on, Groucho Marx peps things up with lots of spontaneous good fun and more of the friendly insults at which he is so accomplished. For a brighter, livelier evening tomorrow night, it's Groucho Marx and Truth or Consequences on this station. Now stay tuned for X-1 on NBC.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy's science fiction magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, Bad Medicine by Finn O'Donovan. But first, farmers know they can't stop storms, floods, or droughts from ruining a crop. But they can make sure things like that can't ruin them by investing in United States savings bonds. Not only farmers, but over 40 million Americans in all sorts of jobs own 40 billions of savings bonds. And why? Because savings bonds are the easy way to start saving and to keep saving. And the money you invest in savings bonds mean protection now and ready cash when you need it in the future. Improving the farm, sending the youngsters to college, or planning your own retirement. These are the big things you can be ready for with savings bonds. And besides offering you a safe investment, each Series E savings bond pays you back $4 at maturity for every 3 you invest. Yes, you earn extra dollars while you save, so start saving now. For the big things in your life, be ready with United States savings bonds. And now, on with our story.
On May 2nd, 2103, Elwood Caswell walked rapidly down Broadway. It was a gentle, misty spring day, and the air held the smell of rain and blossoming trees. But Elwood Caswell didn't smell the rain and the trees. He just gripped the loaded gun he had in his pocket. He didn't want to use the weapon, but he was certain that he would. This was justifiable. You see, Elwood Caswell was a homicidal maniac.
Why shouldn't I kill him?
Hey, look out, will you?
Oh, sorry, sir. Only the other day he said to me, Elwood, you're looking very well. What business is it of his how I look?
Hey there, Elwood. Elwood.
Huh?
It's me, Marty Klein. I work on the jet buses with you, remember?
Oh, yeah, of course. Hello, Marty. Forgive me, my mind was on other things.
Yeah, I know how it is. A couple of weeks ago, I was walking around a fog so thick you could cut it.
Yeah, really?
Sure. Preoccupied, you know. I had this idea in my mind.
You too?
Yeah.
The same person?
Huh?
Were you troubled by the same person?
My wife. Hey, you okay?
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course.
Well, I had this idea, see? I was going to get rid of my wife.
Kill her?
Kill her? I mean, send her to a country for a week.
Oh.
You sure you ain't sick?
No, I never felt better.
Well, anyway, I was going to take a week off. Quit the jet buses. Hey, can you imagine? I've been a jet bus operator for 10 years now, and all of a sudden, I feel like I can't take it for another minute.
I know how you feel.
And I was going to take a trip all by myself.
A trip?
To where? To the farthest place I could think, to Mars. I was just going to pick up and take a vacation on Mars. Silly, huh?
I don't know. What happened?
Well, I talked it over with Ethel.
Your wife?
Yeah. Ethel, she's a real sensible girl. You know what she did?
No, am I supposed to?
Well, Ethel went right down to that home therapy appliance store, and she says, "You got a home therapy machine that'll cure my husband of this idea he can't stay on the jet buses?"
I've heard that those machines aren't perfected.
They got him licked now. So, okay, she describes the trouble, and next day they deliver this thing, and boom, I plug it in, see?
And?
And a voice talks to me. It starts asking me questions.
Yeah, what kind of questions?
All kinds. Things I wouldn't even tell my own mother.
You told the machine?
Why not? It's only a machine.
Yeah, I see your point.
Well, then the machine starts to tell me a few things. And before I knew it, inside a week, I'm cured. Now, I can't wait to go back driving the jet buses.
You don't say.
So that's why I say I know how it is to have one thing on your mind all the time like that.
This machine, what did it cost you?
That's the beauty part of it. My Ethel. Boy, she's a smart girl. After a week, she sends it back, see? She says it don't work. So all we lose is the deposit.
I see.
Well, I gotta get back to work now. Hey, ain't you working the jet buses today?
Huh? No, I'm off today.
Well, I'll see you, Elwood.
Yeah, see you, Marty. What was the name of that place?
Where they sell the home therapy machines.
Yeah.
Home therapy appliances. It's right down Broadway, about 2 blocks from here. So long, Elwood.
Perspiring freely, Elwood Caswell continued down Broadway toward 43rd Street. His friend Magnuson would be finishing work soon, returning to his apartment less than a block from Caswell's. Elwood gripped the gun tighter. How pleasant it would be to saunter in, exchange a word with him, and then...
No, I won't do it. I don't really want to kill anybody. It isn't right. Think what'll happen. The authorities will lock me up. My friends won't understand, and... Mother would never approve. Still, if I see Magnuson, if I see his hateful, accusing face in front of me... Oh, this must be the store. Yeah. Home therapy appliances.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I show you some of our home therapy appliances?
I want therapy. Quick.
Of course, sir. This way, please. Now then, this is our new alcoholic reliever built by International Combustion Motors and advertised in leading magazines. A handsome piece of furniture. I think you will agree and not out of place in any home. It also opens into a television set.
Look, what I need...
Therapy, of course. I just want to point out this model need never cause embarrassment to you, your friends, or your loved ones. Notice, if you will, the recessed dial which controls the desired degree of alcoholism. You see, heavy, moderate, social, light, and teetotal. A new feature unique in mechanotherapy.
I'm not alcoholic. The New York Jet Bus Authority does not hire alcoholics.
Oh, sorry. You seem the type. No offense.
Please.
You seem rather nervous. Perhaps the portable anxiety reducer.
No.
Well, sir, perhaps if you told me just what you feel is bothering you.
What have you got for homicidal mania?
I beg your pardon.
Homicide. The urge to kill someone.
Oh, of course. Well, let's see now.
Pardon me. Have you worked here very long?
A week. Oh, yes, here's the ticket. This black job with the chrome trim.
What is it?
This, is a Rex regenerator, built by Planetary Motors Corporation. Handsome, Goes with any decor. Opens into a well-stocked little bar, so your family, friends, loved ones need never...
Well, is your homicidal urge a strong one?
Oh, absolutely. Don't confuse this with the little 10-amp neurosis model. This is a hefty, heavy-duty 25-amp machine for really deep-rooted conditions.
That's what I've got.
Well, this baby will jolt you out of it. Big, heavy-duty thrust bearings, oversized heat absorbers, completely insulated. Sensitivity range
I'll take it.
Yes, sir.
With me, right now.
Now?
Before it's too late. I'll pay cash.
Well, yes, sir. It'll be a few hours before the warehouse can...
I'll take this one here.
Well, that's a floor demonstrator.
Does it work?
All of our demonstrators work.
Then I'll take it. I can't wait for a warehouse. I can't wait for anything. Have it put in a taxi for me.
Yes, sir.
Tell them to hurry. I want to kill my friend Magnuson, you know.
Who?
My friend, Magnuson.
Oh, of course. That'll be $400.59, sales tax included.
Dr. Elwood Caswell left the store, the clerk, whose name was Haskins, smiled to himself and lighted a cigarette. He had made his first sale. He inhaled.
Haskins?
Yes, Mr. Follinsby?
Smoking. I asked you to rid yourself of that filthy habit.
Immediately, Mr. Follinsby. I'll use one of those display model denicotinizers at once. By the way, I just made a rather good sale, sir.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. One of our big Rex regenerators.
Well, now, it isn't often we... Wait a minute. Where's the floor model?
Well, sir, the customer was in an awful hurry. He was going to kill his friend.
You gave him the floor model?
Yes, sir. Was there any reason why...
Oh, grief, Haskins. Didn't I inform you we never sell a floor model?
But, sir...
Good heavens! I've got to get to him. What was his address?
Address?
His name, then.
Well, he didn't say.
Then his check.
But he paid cash.
You mean you just let him pick up the machine and walk out?
Well, sir, he paid cash.
He was homicidal, you say?
Yes, sir. His friend...
I don't care about his friend. Get the police. No. Call the Planetary Motor Security Division. Quick.
Yes, at once.
Well...
Excuse me, Mr. Follinsby. What will I tell them?
Tell them, you fool. Tell them that one of our customers has accidentally got that display regenerator they sent us. The one they shipped by accident. They were going to replace it tomorrow.
Yes, sir, the one they shipped by accident. Will they know?
If they don't be more explicit, tell them we've sold the Martian model. The one for treating psychotic Martians.
Meanwhile, Elwood Caswell had returned to his apartment and lugged the big black Rex regenerator into his living room. He put it down near the couch and studied it carefully.
He was right. It does go with the room. Now then, let's see those instructions. Place regenerator near a comfortable couch. All right. Plug in machine. There. Affix contact band to your forehead. That's all there is to it. Just turn on the machine and it will do the rest. There will be no language problem since your regenerator communicates with you by direct sensory contact, patent pending. Well, it seems easy enough. Now, I'll just put the contact on my head. And... blast it. Hello?
Elwood?
Yes?
This is Henry. Henry Magnuson. How are you, old boy?
I'm fine.
I wondered if you were doing anything tonight. Thought you might like to drop over for a game of chess.
Game of chess, huh? You stupid oaf.
What?
Nothing.
I thought you called me a stupid oaf.
I was just talking to my cat.
Oh. I didn't remember you had a cat. I thought you hated cats.
Oh, I do. This isn't really mine. It's a neighbor's. It keeps coming in.
Oh. What about tonight?
Will you be alone?
Well, yeah.
You haven't mentioned to anyone that you're inviting me over?
Not a soul. Why?
Someone's looking for me, a process server.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been avoiding him for days. I don't even leave word where I'll be when I go out.
You can trust me, Elwood. I'm your best friend.
Yes, you are. But not for long.
Huh?
Just talking to the cat again.
Oh. Well, will you be over?
Yeah.
In about an hour, okay?
Yeah, an hour will be fine. There are a few things I have to do
I've just
first.
gotten some new laugh records from the boys at the office. I got something here that'll really kill you. So long, Elwood.
So long. I've got something here that'll kill you, too.
X-1 will continue in 1 minute.
Each of us has a personal reason for wanting to see cancer conquered. Steve Allen would like to tell you his.
I have a wife and 3 wonderful kids. And when I think about cancer going to strike 1 American in every 4, well, that's more than enough reason for wanting to see it conquered. I know that some people don't even want to think about cancer. But pretending it's not a threat, doing an ostrich routine, isn't going to get us anywhere. We've got to stand up to it and fight. We can fight, each and every one of us. Through the American Cancer Society, we can be part of the battle that someday will beat cancer once and for all. That day will come, but you and I have got to help. How about it?
Thank you, Steve Allen. Remember, fight cancer with a checkup and a check. See your doctor once a year for a checkup. It's your best cancer insurance. And to help conquer cancer, send a check to your unit of the American Cancer Society. Make it generous.
And now, on with our story.
Taking the revolver from his pocket, Elwood laid it on the table in front of him. His face became suffused with hatred at the thought of Magnuson. He poked at the gun with a stiff forefinger.
Magnuson, you no-good, shifty-eyed enemy of all that's decent in the world. The man who ruined my sister Irene. The man who... Wait a minute, Elwood. You have no sister, remember? No sister. Now, before you go off and commit murder, why not just try that machine just once, huh? Turn it on. Okay, now reach over and...
Good afternoon, Elwood. I am your mechanical therapist. You may call me Bloop.
Gloop?
You seem surprised. It is a perfectly common name here on this planet.
Gloop, of course. I've heard it many times.
Now then, I am scanning the material in your preconscious with the intent of synthesis, diagnosis, prognosis, and treatment.
Yes?
I find... This is a most unusual case.
Really? I thought it was simple homicidal mania.
There is, of course, no such thing. You are obviously hallucinating a set of symptoms. Nonsense syllables to enable you to avoid the real problem.
Oh?
A most unusual set of symptoms, I must say.
Your pilot light seems to be fading.
My light is not fading. I am merely trying to relate your symptoms to proven theory.
Well, as long as you know what you're doing.
Mechanotherapy is an exact science, Elwood. It admits of no significant errors. We will proceed.
Good.
First, the word association test.
Fire away.
I will proceed to give a word. You answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. Ready?
Ready.
House.
Home.
Planet.
Earth.
Just musing. Now, Fleeful.
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 That sounds like a Martian word.
Just give me a response.
Fleeful, Okay. I can make 'em up, too. Marfouche. That's a pretty good one, huh? Made it up in the spur of the moment.
Marfouche is very significant. It is a corruption of the Martian concept of fush klib. Very significant.
I don't know any Martian words.
Aha, noteworthy. We will proceed. Loud.
Soft.
Green.
Mother.
Panagoyas.
Pathamathanga. How's that one?
At ease.
Nexothesmodrastica. Top that.
Catif of snow-hell gnoptices.
Okay. Rigamaroo, Kalamazoo, Iggity-bibbity-boo.
Good. It fits the pattern.
Pattern?
Your neurosis. I can diagnose it now.
Go on.
You have a classic case of theme desire, complicated by strong dwarkish intentions.
I could have sworn I was homicidal.
The term has no referent. It must be rejected as nonsense. Now, if you'll just settle back on the couch, we'll proceed.
At precisely this moment, a tall, gnarled, ugly man pushed his way through the doors of Home Therapy Atlantis. His clothing, unpressed and uncaring, hung on him like corrugated iron. When the clerk, Hoskins, approached him, he flipped back his lapel to show a small silver badge underneath.
Sir?
John Rath, Planetary Motor Security Division.
Oh, yes, sir. Mr. Follinsby, Mr. Follinsby.
Yes, Hello, Follinsby.
Mr. Rath,
Well?
So far we haven't a single lead.
You're certain he never mentioned his name?
Oh, yes, sir.
Now think. Is there anything significant?
Is it serious, Mr. Rath?
Mr. Follinsby, this man is homicidal.
Won't it treat him?
Homicide is unknown on Mars. It'll treat him for the most likely Martian sickness.
What would that be?
Theme desire, Mr. Follinsby.
Theme desire?
It's a Martian illness in which the victim feels cursed by the tree-like nourishing parent, although, of course, Martians don't have parents in the ordinary sense. Well, Haskins?
I remember one thing. He mentioned he was a jet bus operator for the New York Jet Bus Authority.
Ah.
One other thing.
Yes?
I believe, yes, he was alcoholic.
An alcoholic jet bus operator. Excellent. It'll be on his records. Get the Jet Bus Authority at once.
But surely, Elwood, you remember your Gorisy.
No.
Tell me then about your juvenile experiences with the Forrestrian fleet.
Never had one.
Complete blockage.
My father...
There is no such thing, of course.
But...
I thought we'd finally agreed on that.
Okay, if you say so.
Now then, since you claim you don't even know what a Gorisy is, tell me what you imagine it to be.
A forest fire. A salt tablet? A small screwdriver? Am I getting warm? A revolver?
Uh-uh.
What the heck is a goracy?
Why, the tree that nourished you into puberty.
No tree nourished me.
You have completely repressed the experience.
No tree ever nourished me.
Mr. Caswell, let me try to explain your case as best I can. Somewhere in your childhood, your goracy, or parent tree, stifled your theme desire. Now, this gave rise to your present urge to dwarf someone in a Flendish manner.
To what?
To dwarf someone in a Flendish manner.
Listen, you crummy piece of hardware. I have never had a goracy. I have no desire to dwarf someone in a Flendish manner or any other manner. All I want to do is put a bullet into Herbert Magnuson. Understand? All I want to do is kill Magnuson.
Lie down, Mr. Caswell. We'll go over it again.
My dear man, I'm not trying to insinuate that the Jet Bus Authority hires alcoholics. If you will just...
Any luck?
It's a dead end. Now, Haskins.
Yes, sir.
A man's life may be at stake here. Now think. Was there anything else this fellow said to you? Anything?
Well, he did mention the name of his friend.
Of which friend?
The one he was going to kill.
The one he... Why didn't you say so? Now, what was it?
Magnuson.
You sure?
That's it. He said, I'm going to kill Magnuson. You know, just casually like that.
Follinsby, see if there's a Magnuson in the Manhattan phone book. Now, hurry it up.
Yes, Mr. Caswell, you were saying?
Well...
Something about your goracy?
Yes, I was saying I think perhaps you're right.
Naturally. But right about what, Mr. Caswell?
Well, I think perhaps... Yes, I think perhaps I do remember my goracy.
Ah! Now, Mr. Caswell, we're on the road to a cure.
Mr. Magnuson?
Yes?
Do you know a short, angry-looking, red-haired man?
I might.
Thank heaven.
Or I might not.
Can you tell us where to locate him?
You're a process server, huh?
Certainly not.
Don't kid me.
Mr. Magnuson, this man is trying to kill you.
Go on, you're full of happy pills. Elwood's my best friend.
Elwood?
He loves me like a brother. And if you think I'm going to stick some process server onto
Mr.
him...
Magnuson, I'm not a process server. Your friend Elwood is a psychopathic killer. You're his intended victim. Can you get that through your thick skull? I'm trying to save your life.
Yes.
You're Elwood Caswell?
Yes.
The Elwood Caswell who bought a Rex regenerator early this afternoon?
Yes. Won't you come in?
Thank you. My name is Rath, Planetary Motors.
Nice to meet you.
Have you used the machine?
Oh, yes.
I see. Mr. Caswell, I don't know how to explain this, but we made a terrible mistake. The regenerator you took was a Martian model for giving therapy to Martians.
I know.
You do?
Yes, it became pretty obvious after a while.
It was a dangerous situation, especially for a man in your condition.
Yes, the poor thing tried its best, but of course it couldn't cure what wasn't there.
Well, then the company will, of course, reimburse you for your lost time and your mental anguish.
Naturally.
And we will substitute a regular human-type regenerator.
Oh, that won't be necessary. You see...
Mr. Caswell, will you put down that gun? I warn you.
I'm not going to shoot you. I merely want to turn this gun over to you.
You do?
Yes, I'm not going to shoot anybody.
You mean that...
The machine's attempt at therapy forced me to reappraise my whole self. There was an insight during which I was able to get rid of my obsession.
You no longer want to kill your friend Magnuson?
Kill Magnuson? Why, I haven't the faintest urge.
Well, I must say, then, that it worked out for the best. I'll get back to the store and have him pick up this machine in an hour. And, well, sir...
don't forget to take this gun. I don't need it.
Of course. Well, nice to have met you, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Did you hear that? He asked me if I still intended to kill Magnuson. Magnuson, that inhuman monster who cut down my Goracy. Magnuson, the man who even now is secretly planning to infect New York with abhorrent fiend desire. Am I going to kill him? Oh, no. I wish him a long life, a life filled with the torture I can now inflict on him. Kill Magnuson? Oh, no. I'm going to start right now to thwart him in a Valendish manner.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features Honorable Opponent by Clifford D. Simak, the story of an Earth general with the distasteful assignment of meeting a delegation of unmilitary clowns who arrive as conquerors. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. In a moment, tonight's cast and a preview of next week's exciting drama.
They took the blue from the skies and the pretty girl's eyes and the touch of old glory pure, and gave it to the men who proudly wear the U.S. Air Force blue. The U.S. Air Force blue. Oh, we are men with a dream of America's team. We're a rugged and ready crew. And you can bet your boots the world looks up to U.S. Air Force Blue. To U.S. Air Force Blue. We know where we go when we set our course. The sky's no limit in the Air Force. They took the blue from the skies and the pretty girl's eyes and the touch of old glory's hue, and gave it to the men who proudly wear the U.S. Air Force blue. We proudly wear the blue, the U.S. Air Force blue.
Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Bad Medicine, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Finn O'Donovan and adapted for radio by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were Cliff Carpenter, Bill Britton, Alan Manson, Charles Webster, Carl Weber, and Joseph Julian. Norman Rose was heard as the machine. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Bob Maurer and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Weekday, the companion and advisor to America's women, offers a new informative series on childbirth. It's the actual case history of a young wife, following her through the late stages of pregnancy, childbirth, and postnatal care. You'll attend the childbirth courses offered at New York's Mount Sinai Hospital, and even enter the delivery room for the actual birth of the child. Listen tomorrow for the real-life series, The Story of Birth. Then, on the same program, listeners can also enjoy more women's specialties. Kitchen Hints by Charlotte Adams, Child Care News with Dr. Francis Horwich, Vacation Ideas offered by Walter Kiernan, and another personal visit with your radio friend, Mary Margaret McBride. Don't forget the exciting dramatization each day from Taylor Caldwell's book, Tender Victory. Be sure to join Virginia Graham and Mike Wallace tomorrow on this NBC station. Follow the news with Chet Huntley tonight on NBC Radio.
For the third time, a boat bearing the Gregory party lands at the magic island of Euclidia. The first time, they were searching for the island. The second time, they were returned to it as escaping prisoners. And now, they have been allowed to land for the purpose of attempting to take over the island. It doesn't sound reasonable somehow that G-47 would let anyone come to Euclidia for the purpose of taking over his scientific colony. But that is exactly what Captain Bradford proposes to do. The small cruiser which brought the captain, Mrs. Gregory, and Jerry and Joan is held fast to the Euclidean pier by magnetism. There is no sound to be heard over the entire island.
Well, this blamed place has got another one of its noiseless days.
It would seem so, Jerry.
It's mighty weird at that.
It is a terrible place, Captain Bradford, and I am not at all sure we acted wisely in returning to Euclidia.
Oh, forget that, Joan. We had to do something, didn't we?
Jerry is right, Joan, dear. With Euclideans watching our every move at home, we had no choice but to come back here and attempt to learn something of the power here.
We had seen many examples of the power of G47.
Well, I'll grant that he's given us a number of unpleasant surprises, Joan. But if we don't do something about regulating things here, the rest of the world may be in danger.
I think not.
Well, you always think not. But Captain Bradford's right. All these scientific gadgets would be too much for the world right now. It'd mean plenty of trouble.
You don't understand our world, Joan, and your visit to it was so pitifully brief that you had no time to see it. But we feel that there are a great many things of more value than reducing everything to a science. All of the electrical and chemical wonders these men have perfected can be used to advantage by the world. But they must be in the hands of the proper people.
Sure, Joan. Well, we can't let old G47 and his bunch get loose in the world with all the power they've got. Why, they could take over every country there is in a week.
And would that be so bad for the country?
Yes, Joan, it would, according to our standards of living. This isn't a place to argue about it. When are we supposed to land on this island?
Well, that girl submarine commander said for us to report to G47 as soon as we got here.
I'd be glad to do that if I could find him.
I suggest we start across the island. We will be seen and stopped. Then we may say our business and be conducted to G47.
I think that's the best thing to do, Tex.
So do I.
Right. Come on.
Hey, how about the Chinese cook?
Yeah, we'll leave him on board.
Oh, won't poor Jim Lowe be horribly frightened when some of these Euclidean guards come after him?
Oh, he knows plenty about what's happening.
I told him enough of it so he understands what we're up against.
He will be brought to quarters near ours, I expect.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to find our own quarters.
Looks that way, son. They didn't give us much of a welcome this time.
Isn't it strange, walking on this polished steel surface and not a sound?
Yeah. You know, it gives me the creeps. Boy, the deck of that old boat will sound mighty good when we get back on it again.
Which is liable to be some time. Well, what do you suggest we go, Joan?
This is strange to me also, Captain Bradford. I have never seen anyone allowed to advance to this point on the island without being stopped and questioned.
I wouldn't mind being questioned if I could only see someone or hear something.
And at least we can be thankful they're using natural daylight. We don't have to stumble around that artificial sunlight of theirs without the proper glasses.
Well, you're the only one who's got any idea about this place, Joan. What do we do now?
I believe we should proceed to the central control chamber and ask for instructions.
Straight ahead?
Yes.
All of these surface rooms are of shining steel. We can see nothing except the surface, and yet we're being watched from within.
Well, you bet we are. That steel is as clear as window glass when you're on the inside.
We should receive a warning before we proceed much further.
A warning? About what?
We will be warned to come no nearer to the control chamber.
Then perhaps we'd better stop now.
Let's go on till someone stops us.
But what are we running into, Tex?
I don't know. What about that, Joan?
G47 instructed us to report to him. I think no harm will come to us until that time, at least.
Well, if we're only safe until we find him, let's don't look very hard for him.
Well, we'll find him all right, but something must have changed since we left here. Your warning isn't coming along very fast, Joan.
I cannot understand that.
Always something we can't understand. And it will continue to be that way on this mad island.
Afraid so. But one thing we can understand is absolute silence, and that's all we've run into so far.
Well, nobody's stopping us. Let's go and try the door in the control chamber.
It will not open from the outside, Jerry.
Well, maybe if we knock loud enough, somebody will open it for us.
Isn't that dangerous?
Better be careful, Jerry.
Hey, are these doors charged with electricity?
No, they are locked so that it is impossible to open them from outside.
Well, then it won't hurt anything to knock on one of them. Here goes.
That ought to wake anyone up.
You will not find the Euclideans asleep.
There's no one in that place.
Perhaps this is a trick.
Oh, what for?
Well, I don't know, Jerry. But it's very easy to suspect everything on this island.
Maybe you didn't knock hard enough.
Oh, gee. You could hear that noise all over the island.
Out here, yes. But if that room is soundproof, they may not have heard it inside. I'll try it again.
No, nothing doing.
It will prove useless to knock more, Captain Bradford.
I believe you.
But what are we to do?
The elevators will operate automatically as we approach them. Perhaps we are expected to descend to the lower levels.
Boy, you don't feel so important when they let you land like this. Nobody cares if we're here or not.
On the contrary, Jerry, we know that G47 and his scientists care a great deal. There's some reason for this.
Where is this elevator, Joan?
We are approaching it now. That small rounded dome rising from the island floor.
Rising?
Oh, sure, Mrs. Gregory. Watch that thing come up in the air.
Why, so it is, but how?
The elevator is electrically controlled.
I understand that, Joan. Most elevators run electrically. But who is bringing it up?
Well, nobody. It's coming up for us.
How do they do it, Joan? Photoelectric cell?
Precisely.
You mean that we walked through or over an electric beam and brought that elevator up?
That is one method, though I believe this particular channel is operated by the voice directed toward it.
Oh, this is almost too much for me.
Well, you didn't see as much of this island as I did before, Mrs. Gregory. This elevator is only a starter.
The elevator is completely above the surface now. We may enter.
The door might help a little.
The door is opening.
So it is. Opening automatically, I suppose.
Oh, I guess so. Don't see anyone inside the thing.
Well, we'd better get along with it. Somebody must know we're here. They wouldn't have everything fixed up so nice for us.
We will try the various levels and determine what is taking place.
Not much room in these things.
They were designed to hold 4 people.
Well, as soon as I squeeze in, we'll have 4. Okay, let her go, Joan.
I suggest stopping at the first level.
You're the boss, Joan. We'll stop anywhere you say.
Are you sure you know how to operate this, Joan?
Well, I'll say she does. Go ahead, Joan. Push the switch for the first level, and let's go down and meet some Euclideans.
Very well.
How smoothly this car descends.
Well, everything on this island is pretty slick.
What's on the first level, Joan?
Very little of value, mostly heavy articles in storage.
Will we be likely to find anyone there?
I think we should try each level.
There's the magnet. This is the first floor.
But, Jerry, we did not stop.
We have passed that level?
Yes, I could feel those big magnets release this car, then take hold again.
Push the button for the second level, Joan.
I have done so.
Didn't do any good, though.
Will you be able to stop without an accident, Joan?
There will be no accident in this elevator.
Well, it certainly was an accident that you couldn't stop at either of the first 2 floors.
Oh, I'm not so sure about that.
There was the third level. Our journey in this elevator was obviously planned in advance.
Where are we most likely to wind up, Joan?
Either the 5th level, where the chemical laboratories are, or the 9th, in the confinement cells.
But G47's orders were that we weren't going to be prisoners this time.
I wouldn't put too much faith in G47's orders, Jerry.
They're not taking soft to fourth, that's sure.
The next will be the laboratories.
And if we don't stop there, the prisons again?
I'm afraid so, Mrs. Gregory.
Well, I doubt it. G47 wants more from us and our company in a cell. But the first person we meet will be G47 himself.
There goes the 5th floor, so we won't meet him there.
Isn't the car moving faster?
Seems to be at that.
Yes, the speed has increased.
Well, I'll say it has. We made that floor mighty quick.
That was the 6th. You say we're not likely to stop before the 9th, Joan?
That is my opinion.
Well, your opinion is looking better all the time. And they don't want us on the 7th floor.
How can all this be so cleverly controlled?
It is all arranged in advance, Mother.
That was 8 of them.
And still we go down.
I don't see how people can live day after day, year after year in this atmosphere as the Euclideans do. It would drive me mad to be herded around from place to place at the will of one of these scientists.
Hey, Joan, we passed the 9th level.
Yes, and that is strange.
More strange than any of the rest of this stuff?
Yes, Captain. The 10th level contains only the power rooms and fuel storage. We would not be taken there for an interview.
Well, nevertheless, we've stopped on the 10th level. And if it isn't to interview G47, it may be for something far more unpleasant.
Well, let's get out and find out.
One moment, Captain.
What's up?
Do not attempt to move.
What? We're going down.
Yeah. And I thought the 10th floor was the bottom.
Joan, you look as lost as the rest of us now.
I suppose I do. I can only speculate as to what is happening.
Then speculate out loud. We've already gone through the floor. Where can we go now?
We're certainly going down.
How about this, Joan? This isn't an illusion created to worry us, is it?
What, Captain?
I mean, we're really going down?
Undoubtedly.
But where are we going?
Oh, no place I ever heard of. That 10th floor was past the bottom of the island when Joan and I searched it before.
Yes, Jerry. It was the bottom, so far as we were allowed to see.
Joan, what do you mean?
Well, she means that even when you've seen 10 levels below the water on this thing, and even when you're 100 feet under the ocean, you haven't seen everything.
We've been going down at about the same speed. That would mean we've already dropped 30 or 40 feet below the 10th level.
But that couldn't be, Tex. The island is only 10 levels deep.
The island, yes. But now I think we may expect to learn why we found all levels in the island deserted and closed to us. We are to be taken to modern Atlantis.
Modern Atlantis?
Why, Joan, the lost continent?
No, its namesake. The Euclidean city under the ocean floor. I had heard strange tales of it, almost too fantastic to believe. But now I feel that it must be a reality. We will continue down for 200 feet, and when we leave this elevator, we will be in the most wonderful city in the entire world, modern Atlantis.
On the magic island of Euclidia, the Gregory party is learning more of the wonders of the place and learning them very rapidly. When their boat was pulled to the pier by magnetism, Mrs. Gregory and her daughter Joan, Captain Bradford, and Jerry Hall found no one to greet them. They know the Euclidean scientists expect their landing. It's very puzzling as they walk across the island, enter one of the automatic elevators, and descend to various levels, searching for G-47 or one of his assistants. The mystery deepens as their elevator passes the 10th level, 100 feet below the surface of the sea and supposed to be the lowest level on the island. The elevator does not stop there, however, and we find them now 50 feet below the bottom of the island, 150 feet below the surface of the water, and still going down.
Oh, gee whiz, Joan. How far down does this elevator go?
I do not know, Jerry. I have only heard vague rumors of the Euclidean city below the ocean floor.
But, Joan, you said something about modern Atlantis. Surely you don't believe there's a lost continent under us.
Well, why not, Pat? The only people who refuse to believe the story of Atlantis are the same kind of people who said automobiles wouldn't run and airships wouldn't fly.
But, why, it's tremendous, Tex.
Yes, it's that all right.
Well, Joan's lived on this island 14 years. I should think she'd know more about this.
G-47 and his men have not told me everything about Euclidia. I think we may see things of which I have never dreamed.
Well, the only time I ever did see this kind of stuff is when I was dreaming.
This elevator keeps going down. We must be nearly 100 feet below what we believe to be the foundation of the island. And yet we go down. Down into what?
Well, whatever it is, it's been made by man. If these Euclideans can stand it, I guess we can.
I am as greatly surprised as you are, Captain Bradford. My knowledge of Euclidia will be useless here.
Well, whatever's going to happen to us, I wish it would happen quick. I'm getting tired going all in one direction in an elevator.
We stopped. No, we started again.
Something wrong here. We're tipping over.
Hey, quit pushing me.
But I am not pushing you, Jerry.
Tex, we're falling.
Hold steady. I think it's going to be all right.
What's going on here? We're almost over on our side. This blame elevator is lying down flat. And it still goes.
Perhaps we are now traversing a horizontal passage.
Joan, dear, you think this elevator is traveling along a tunnel almost flat on its side?
It is obvious, is it not?
Well, golly whiskers. When their elevators are going to run like this, I wish somebody'd tell me so I could get on top. I'm all squashed.
Well, it is a little uncomfortable, Jerry, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's swell for you. You're on top. But I'm getting all the wind knocked out of me.
I think our position is changing again.
Why? Hope we don't have to stand on our heads.
No, Jerry. We're tipping back to an upright position.
Queer things, these Euclidean elevators.
Much too queer for me.
Me too. I like my elevators running up and down.
Is it not logical to have them also run horizontally?
Yes, dear. It's probably logical, but it's also upsetting.
We seem to be almost on even keel again now.
Yeah, I can tell that. I can get my breath.
But how long is this weird ride going to continue?
I have no way of determining that.
We're going at a terrific speed now. Wherever we're going, it shouldn't take us long to get there.
Have you any idea as to our direction?
Not the slightest.
We're going down.
Of course, Jerry. We all know that. What Mother meant was our direction from the center of the island during our progress along a level plane.
I wouldn't know.
We just passed another control of some type.
I hope we don't start upside down now.
We are stationary.
What?
Huh?
Joan's right. We've stopped moving.
Why, so we have.
Then I'll bet it won't be long until something else happens to us.
That is probably correct.
Oh, I know it is. These Euclideans don't let much time go by without trying one of their tricks on you.
Well, we've evidently arrived at our destination.
Right, let's get out.
Do not open that door, Captain.
Why not?
I do not know why you should not. But it is well to remember that when the Euclideans wish you to pass through a door, That door is opened for you.
You mean we just stand here in this little steel coop until somebody lets us out?
Precisely.
It may be safer, as Joan suggests.
No doubt of that, but I hope they don't keep us in here too long. I'd like to know where we are.
Well, we're somewhere near the Magic Island. You can sure tell when these Euclideans are running things. Everything always happens, so you can't figure it out.
I think I'll take a chance and open this door.
I wish you would not, Captain.
Oh, please, Tex. If Joan is worried about it, surely we can spare the few minutes it may take for someone to come and let us out.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, maybe take a few hours if they don't want to see us right away.
The door is opening now.
Yes, look. The door is opening, and no one is touching it.
Well, that's merely the usual procedure around here.
Well, I'll say it is. After a few weeks in this island, you get too lazy to open doors for yourself.
This one is certainly opening without human aid, and I think it's time for us to leave.
Yes, let's get out before this thing decides to take us back up to the surface.
Huh? Say, this looks just like those passageways up in the island.
The construction is obviously the same. We are in a corridor of the transparent steel.
And I suppose that on either side of us someone is watching through those walls.
Probably.
Well, they can't hurt us any by watching. Well, which way do we go?
You know as much about it as I do, kid.
I think we should proceed as we are going.
Okay, Joan. Straight ahead.
This series of hallways seems to stretch endlessly in all directions.
Hey, that noiseless paint again.
Right, Jerry. Our footsteps don't make a sound.
Apparently, the Euclidean devices are much the same here as on the surface. What is it called, Joan?
I have heard it referred to as a modern Atlantis, but the actual designation is Euclidia.
Oh, the same name as the island, huh?
Obviously.
You're not very certain about things down here, are you, Joan?
I am not, Captain. This is my first visit, and I heard it discussed but little.
Well, it's a mighty big place, if our walking means anything.
We can't even depend on that, Jerry. For all we know, we're walking in a circle.
That is possible.
Well, even a circle will bring you back to your starting point. We'd better off at that elevator, and we are wandering around in endless halls.
Oh, this is a fine thing. Here we come 4,000 miles to see people that we know want to see us, and when we get here, we can't find anybody.
It is indeed strange, Jerry, but I think it is being deliberately done. Probably to impress us with G47's complete contempt for us.
I'm sure of that. It doesn't require any more demonstrations to make me feel absolutely helpless when I'm around this weird place. How long do you think we should keep up this aimless walking, Tex? Tex? Why, Tex!
Golly, Whiskers!
The captain is gone.
But where?
No place.
But he's gone, Jerry.
Well, I mean, there's no place he could have gone.
Joan, dear, what does this mean? What's happened?
I do not know, Mother.
Tex was walking right along here with us a minute ago.
He was beside me, or at least I thought he was, and then I spoke to him. And when I turned, he wasn't there.
Well, let's stand still a minute and try to figure this out.
Well, let's do something.
Do not allow yourself to become excited, Mother.
Excited when a man who was walking at my side suddenly disappears?
Joan means it won't do any good to get excited. We'll figure this out. We'll just keep cool like I am. And...
You must be very cool, Jerry. You are shaking as if you had a chill.
Yeah, I was just... Well, oh, golly.
We haven't passed a doorway he could have stepped into.
The captain would not have done that without telling us.
But he's gone, Joan.
Well, maybe he turned off at one of those other hallways.
I think not. The captain was with us until long after we passed the last cross corridor.
Well, just the same, I'm going back and look for him.
Now, don't get too scared, Mrs. Gregory. These Euclideans do things like this to you all the time.
Nevertheless, I feel that Mother is right. We must retrace our steps and endeavor to discover what took place.
Oh, okay. Back we go.
It should be only a few steps.
Oh! Yeah. Oh, he's right.
Well, this is a solid metal wall.
And yet this is the way we came. There is no other way.
We reversed our direction, and the corridor is too narrow to permit a turn we didn't notice. Yet there's a solid steel panel tightly closed against us.
Then it slid into place without a sound, and I'll bet the captain is on the other side of it.
Do not attempt to call out to him, Mother.
But, Joan...
I know what is best under these circumstances. The captain was deliberately separated from this party, and we would be foolish to attempt to locate him.
You mean we should leave him there without trying to reach him?
I guess Joan's right, Mrs. Gregory. We'd only make fools of ourselves trying to see anything these Euclideans didn't want us to see, and they really might hurt us if we made them too mad.
Well, yes, I can see that, but
We will proceed along the corridor as we were doing.
Yeah. We sure can't do Tix any good, and we'd better try to get somewhere.
Yes, but where?
Well, just anywhere except this hallway.
Jerry is wise, Mother. It is to our advantage to locate someone at once and receive some advice on our position.
Very well, Joan. Come on. It seems a terrible thing to leave Tex here somewhere and go on without him. But we couldn't do him any good if G47 doesn't want us to reach him.
I took Jerry through many experiences, even more terrifying than this. And we were not harmed, were we, Jerry? Jerry!
Stand still, Joan.
Jerry is gone!
Yes, and if we don't move from this spot, we may be able to see where he went.
I think not. There was no sound, no disturbance. heavens! Yet Jerry has vanished as completely as if he were in another world.
Yes, another world. Joan, we are in another world. A world that we don't understand. I'm going back and... Oh, that steel door wasn't more than a foot behind us.
And Jerry is undoubtedly behind that partition.
Well, I'm not going to stand for any more of this. They can come and put me in one of their cells if they want to. But I'm going to find out what's happening. Jerry! Jerry! Jerry!
Mother, please, that will do no good.
No, you're right. It won't do any good. Nothing does any good in this wild place. Oh, why doesn't someone come and take us? Take us to a cell. Take us before G47. Do anything with us to get us out of this awful uncertainty.
Come, Mother. We will proceed.
Proceeding into what?
That we will learn when the scientists are ready to have their wishes made known. We will walk rapidly and quietly.
Yes, we'll walk. Come on, Joan. We'll walk like this, putting one foot before the other, walking heavily on a steel floor, yet making no sound. And then one of us will be next, and one of us will be left alone. Alone to face what?
Be calm, Mother. Be calm.
Yes. Be calm while my world falls to pieces around me. Be calm while you're in danger. Hold tightly my hand, Joan. Oh, I'll never let them separate us. Hold tightly, Joan. Joan! Joan! Where are you, Joan?
Many of the colonies of this planet here have been founded and built by misfits, rebels, rejects from their own societies, the transported criminals. And they've made good men in those new frontiers. But not all men are good men in a bad spot. When you open a new area, whether it's a new planet or a new continent, it takes tough men of strength and determination. Among the men of that type in any culture, many are rebels. They turn up in the criminal courts. Such men make fine colonists. But not all rebels are colonists, builders. A lot of them are just plain, lazy, sick-souled criminals. Now, Mars is a cold planet. It's nearly 50 million miles further from the sun than Earth. It gets proportionately less heat. Its air is thin and low in oxygen. Its water is scarce. It's not an easy place to live. Some men will live in unpleasant places by choice because they have this pioneering spirit or a sense of adventure. Other men have very little choice at all. When Robert Black was found guilty of the crime of armed robbery, the court gave him the usual choice: 15 years in prison or a permanent exile to Mars. The judge asked him which he preferred.
I'll take Mars.
It was so ordered.
Harrington, I'll see Robert Black now. Morning, Mr. Jenner.
What is it this time, Black? In trouble with the mine foreman again?
No, not this time, but if he keeps pushing...
Don't start that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jenner.
Now, look, Black, I'm supposed to be the colonial administrator here. Remember, I have work to do. Now, what's on your mind?
I want to go home.
Now, you're certainly welcome to. You know where your dormitory room is. Go ahead and go home. Why bother me with it?
Oh, you know what I mean. I want to go back to Earth.
Earth? That's impossible, and you know it. You made your choice 10 years ago. You wanted to be a free colonist instead of a prisoner, and you got what you wanted.
Free? You call this free? I work my hands off clear to the elbows in those freezing coal mines. I work 8-10 hours a day for what? For a few lousy bucks? And where can I spend it? No place. I'd rather be in jail.
No place to spend it. You seem to do a pretty good job getting rid of your paycheck in the bars in Marsport.
Why not? What else is there to do with it?
Black, A lot of men in your position have done something with it. They saved their money and bought a little pressure dome of their own. They got married and had kids and tried to make Marsport into a real city instead of drinking up every cent they've made.
Me get married? It's a laugh. None of the dames on Mars have anything to do with it, Con.
Oh, you mean they won't have anything to do with you personally, don't you? Other convicts have done something with themselves here, but you haven't, and you never will. You know why?
You tell me.
Because you can't change your way of thinking. You had to come here because you couldn't keep out of trouble, and you've made trouble for yourself and everybody else since you came. Drunken brawls, arguments with your foreman, everything. Someday you'll get in a real jam.
Now, look, Mr. Jenner, I try to get along. Honest, I do. I just don't like being pushed, that's all.
Oh, sure. Everybody picks on you.
Mr. Jenner, I just can't take Mars anymore. Look at my fingers. They're always cold. My feet are always cold. I haven't been warm for 1 minute in the last 10 years. They can't heat up the mines even because the stinking little planet's cold all the way through.
Well, what do you want me to do? Move Mars closer to the sun just to please you?
Look, Mr. Jenner, please, I'm serious. Send me back to Earth. I'll spend the rest of my time in prison there. I won't care just so long as it's on Earth where it's warm.
I just can't do that, Black. You had your chance to make your choice 10 years ago, and you made it. Neither one of us can change that.
Yeah, but it ain't fair. I have just 5 more years to do time if I take a 15-year sentence, then I'd be free. The way it is, I gotta spend the rest of my life here. That ain't fair.
I couldn't send you back if I wanted to. I'm just a civil service appointee, not a judge of the court. If you want to spend 5 years in jail, I can accommodate you right here on Mars. But I can't send you back to Earth. And that's final.
But, Mr. Jenner...
That's all, Black. Unless you have something else to see me about, please go. I'm busy.
Look. All right, if that's the way you're going to be.
That's the way I'm going to be. Goodbye, Black.
Goodbye.
There are many men who can't take no for an answer. But they don't all have that characteristic in quite the same way. The pioneer, the scientist, these are men who can't take no for an answer, and they plow their way through to an answer that works. But not all men are of that type.
Bartender, give me another beer. Woman always riding me. Jenner, that big shot. White guy. Sure, he don't worry about somebody freezing to death on his ball of ice. Not him. He can go home when he wants to. Who's this sharpie?
Hey, give me a glass of beer, bartender.
Space Service uniform. Wonder what he's doing in a cheap joint like this. Those guys usually have money to burn.
Boy, this beer's sure flat.
It's this low pressure does it. Takes all the fizz out of it.
Oh, is that so? Well, at least it's cold enough, huh?
Oh, yeah, everything's cold on Mars. You, been in the service long?
3 years. This is my first Mars run. Thought I'd take a look at Marsport while they service my ship.
Your ship? You don't hardly look old enough to be the skipper of a spaceship.
That's what they all tell me. I may not be as old as you, old-timer, but it's still my ship.
Old-timer, right away he starts riding the guy right off the bat. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, a young fellow like you with a crew of 10 under you.
Oh, no. It's just the two of us, me and my navigator. We're giving the Skyfire its test run.
Oh, how can 2 men handle a spaceship?
Hey, look, don't you watch the newscast, mister? Skyfire is one of the new models with the Markheim drive. Fastest spaceship ever built.
I guess I'm a little behind the times. New drive, huh?
That's right. Hottest little thing in the sky.
Must not be as complicated as the old jobs if just 2 guys can run it.
Well, I hate to admit it, but it doesn't take much training to run one. A baby could do it.
Oh, man. Things sure have changed since the last time I was on a ship.
Is that so? How long has that been?
10 years. Been here on Mars for 10 years.
Yeah? Are you, are you...
Convict? Oh, no. I come here of my own free will. Got the old pioneer blood in me, I guess. But, well, we don't usually talk about it very much. You know, out here, one fellow's as good as the next one if he behaves himself.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, I guess.
10 years. Well, I guess you've been here long enough to get used to this light gravity, huh?
Sure. Don't even notice it anymore.
The trouble with being in the space service is that you never get used to any particular gravity. It might be 10 G's 1 minute and 0 the next. But you even get used to that eventually.
I imagine you would. My name's Bob Black.
Oh, I'm pleased to meet you. Mine's Carson, Peter Carson.
Hi. You going to be here long?
Oh, a couple of days. Skyfire will be ready to go in an hour or so, but my navigator's in the hospital for checkup. Twisted his ankle getting off the ship.
Oh, it's too bad. Hey, can I buy you a beer? We're both in.
Sure, thanks.
Bartender, 2 more here.
Say, if you've been here 10 years, you must know Marsport pretty well, huh?
Yeah, pretty well.
Well, look, there must be livelier places than this. Maybe you could tell me where to find a little excitement.
Sure. I know a couple of places. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take you there myself.
Good enough. Come on, let's get out of here. We got far to go?
No, about a quarter of a mile.
Let's take a cab then. I don't feel like walking that far in this cold wearing an oxygen mask.
Sure, we can pick one up.
Oh, my head.
Yeah, kid, you really hung one on last night.
Oh. Hey, where am I?
Open your eyes and look around. This ain't the good ship Lollipop.
Hey, we're aboard the Skyfire. Hey, you're not supposed to be here. How'd you get through the guards at the gate?
Well, it wasn't easy, pal, but you helped. Now, you just lean back and relax. You're in no condition to try anything funny.
Hey, that's my gun you got there.
That's right. Earth. Beautiful, green, sunshiny, warm Earth. I'm sick and tired of this freezing hellhole. You're going to take me home, buddy.
Colonial Administration, Jenner speaking.
Jenner, this is Colonel O'Neill, Space Service.
Oh, yes, Colonel. What can I do for you?
Something pretty serious has come up. Would you check your records on a man named Black? Robert Black?
Well, I might not need to check them. I know the man personally. What's he done now?
Well, I take it then you wouldn't be surprised if you were in trouble.
Not in the least. Why? What happened?
One of our spaceships was stolen early this morning.
What? Well, how could a man steal a spaceship?
A man couldn't steal one of the old kind, but this is a radically new type, small, compact, and easy to operate. Be almost as easy as stealing a car.
And you think Black had something to do with it?
Looks like it. He was the last one seen with Peter Carson, and his fingerprints are on the ladder of the takeoff pit. We're questioning the guards now, but it looks as if Carson and Black took off in the Skyfire together.
Incredible. Who is Peter Carson, by the way?
One of our young trainees. Pretty bright, but just a kid.
Oh?
Got a funny streak in him, though. The psychologist should never have passed it. Still, I never thought he'd do anything like this.
What do you mean? What's wrong with him?
Well, he's a bit of a braggart. Likes to claim he's something he's not. I'm no psychologist, but I'd say that he's a compulsive liar.
And the two of them stole a spaceship. Well, they ought to make a fine pair.
Now, tell me, can Black navigate and operate a spaceship?
Of course not. Only trip he ever made was 10 years ago when the court sent him here. He doesn't know how to operate a spaceship.
Then they'll make a fine pair, all right.
How's that?
Neither does Carson.
A criminal in jail is more or less forced to admit that he did make some kind of a mistake. Curious thing is, if you ask such a man what mistake he made, he's apt to say something like, well, you see, I didn't see that cop that was hiding down there in the doorway. He views it as a mistake in procedure. He doesn't recognize that he was fundamentally wrong in trying to make a living that way.
Sure outsmarted old smart boy Jenner. Goes to show you, kid, you can't keep a good man down.
Yeah, sure.
2 hours, I'll be back home again. Back to nice, warm, comfortable Earth.
Black, I'm scared we're going to crash.
Shut up. You still trying to give me that phony line?
I tell you, Black, I don't know anything about spaceships.
Oh, give me that, will you? We took off okay, didn't we? We're on course, aren't we? And you did all the plotting and the piloting, didn't you?
I swear all I know is what I read in the textbook at the academy. And I watched the captain take the ship to Mars. Any fool can take a spaceship off the ground, but it takes a trained pilot to land
You've
one.
been giving me that stuff ever since we started. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe it.
Please, Black, before it's too late, let me get on that radio and call the space service. They can get a ship up here.
Shut up. That's what you like, ain't it? Get the space service up here? I see through your dodge, and I'm not buying it. I don't mind getting caught on Earth because they can't deport me twice. They'll put me in a nice warm cell. But they're not going to nab me up here and send me back to that frigid hell I just left, you understand?
Listen.
Shut up, I said. I read over the pilot's manual. I read over the specifications on this ship. A baby could handle it. Remember? That's what you said. A baby could handle it. And you're right. I can land this thing myself, so don't give me any hooey about you not knowing how.
Please, Black, we haven't got much time.
Shut up.
Please, Black, let me use the radio.
Shut up. All right, now that's better. Now let's get ready to land this crate. We got less than 2 hours.
Gun or no gun, I gotta do something.
Sit back down and stay away from that radio.
I'm gonna call him. You can't stop
me.
No
way, I told you. Stupid, crazy little punk. Now I gotta take the ship down by myself. Everything's okay. Just gotta be calm, that's all. Check the time. That's good. Now, according to the radar map, I'm over Wyoming. No town around. Right smack in the middle of nowhere. Good. That means no cops. Now, check the time again. Don't rush it now. Check the instruments. All right. Velocity, direction. All okay. Time, 10 seconds. Back to Earth. Boy, nice, warm, green Earth. No more cold red sand. It's time. 5 seconds to cut off. 3, 2, 1. Cut! Hey, we're still falling. I guess I'm okay. Ship didn't fall more than 10 or 15 feet. What's that? Radiation detector. Fall must have broken the shielding around the atomic engine. I gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of that airlock and run. This radiation could kill me. It'll kill me if I don't get out. Oh, no. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here or I'll die. I gotta get out and see that good old warm old Earth. I gotta get out.
Colonial Administration, Jenner speaking.
This is Colonel O'Neill, Mr. Jenner. I just got word from Earth that our 2 runaways have been found.
You mean they actually made it to Earth?
Well, it wasn't a good landing. The engines were cut off too soon, and the sky fire dropped about 15 feet. But that ship's pretty nearly foolproof.
What happened?
Our man Carson has a bullet in him. Doctor says in bad shape, but he'll live.
And Black?
Funny thing. Shot the ship down in the desolate part of Wyoming. The fall shorted the radiation detector, and evidently Black thought the ship was full of radiation. He got out fast, started running, and just kept running until he dropped.
You mean he got away?
Well, he didn't get far. It's January, you know, wintertime in Wyoming. He ran into the teeth of a howling blizzard at sub-zero temperatures.
Yeah?
Froze to death before they could reach him.
Characteristic of a man who wants to do things the quick, easy way, that he doesn't like to take the time and trouble to look up the data as to what's going to happen when he gets there. It would have been easy enough for Black to check and find out it was winter on Earth. But you see, Mars doesn't have the same seasons Earth does. Mars' year is about twice as long as ours. I guess Black had sort of lost track of what it was like in Wyoming in January.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky! Look! It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, mighty visitor from another world who came to Earth when the planet Krypton was destroyed by quakes and explosions. Superman, who can bend steel in his bare hand, leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, and walks about among human beings disguised as mild Clark Kent, news reporter for a great metropolitan paper. Curious events at Horn House, the New England home of Jimmy Olsen's Aunt Louisa, have led Jimmy and Clark Kent to believe that a group of smugglers is using the place, together with its old lighthouse and dock, as a secret base. Queer sounds in the cellar below the kitchen, lamps in a lighthouse which has been dark for 2 generations, strange behavior on the part of old Miss Horn herself. When we last saw them, Kent and Jimmy had rushed out to the lighthouse and captured a man who had been signaling from the tower after a chase that left the stranger unconscious. While still at the lighthouse, Kent and Jimmy had received an urgent plea for help from old Aunt Louisa, back in the kitchen of Hornhouse, in the form of 3 sharp rings of the house telephone bell, a signal for help suggested to her by Kent. As our story continues today, Jimmy and Kent are hurrying back over the stretch of beach to Hornhouse, carrying the unconscious figure of the stranger between them. Listen.
Steady, Jimmy. Look, why don't you run on ahead?
No, I'll stick here with you, Mr. Kent. You couldn't carry this guy all by yourself.
Oh, yes, I could.
Anyway, we're almost there. Who do you think he is?
Can't imagine. But we'll hang on to him until we find out, I can tell you that. Say, look. Look ahead. Didn't we leave your aunt in the kitchen with the lights lit?
Golly, that's so. Now the lights are out. It's dark. The whole house is dark. Aunt Lou! Aunt Lou!
She must have needed help, or she wouldn't have rung the telephone. Come on, Jimmy. Oh, here we are. All right, open the door.
Okay. Golly, it's dark. Aunt Lou!
Here. Drop this fellow on the floor for now. There we are. All right, find the switch.
I got it here. Great Scott, Mr. Kent. Look, the cellar door. We left it closed, and now it's open.
Jimmy, what's that whining? Sounds like a dog in the closet.
It's Tiger. Aunt Lou must have shut him in. But what for? And where is she?
I don't know where she is, but I know where she went. She opened the door and went down in the cellar.
Come on, Mr. Kent. We've got to find her, quick.
Wait a minute. That dog, Tiger. Does he know you, Jimmy? Will he do what you say?
Sure he will, but what do you want?
We'll make him stand guard over this fellow on the floor. Come on, let him out. Hurry. Careful, Jimmy.
Stop him. Stop him. He's going for the guy.
No, he's not. Jimmy, look, he knows him. The dog knows him. He's licking his face.
By golly, you're right. Hey, stop it. Stop it, Tiger. Tiger. Mr. Kent, who is he?
Search me, Jimmy. We can't wonder about that now. We've got to find your aunt.
Come on, down the cellar door.
No, Jimmy, wait. I may be wrong. You go upstairs and look all over. Look through the library.
She never went there. It's been locked for years.
Oh, never mind. Look everywhere. We can't afford to miss her. I'll go down cellar. Now, if you find her, yell out. Quick now.
Okay. I'd rather come with you, Mr. Kent. If you say look upstairs, that's what I'll do.
That's the boy.
What about this guy here?
I'm afraid he's hurt more than I thought. We can't do anything about that right now. Not till we find Miss Horn. Go along, Jimmy.
Okay, Mr. Kent. Tiger, you stay right there. You hear? Stay there.
Thank heavens. Got rid of Jimmy. She didn't go upstairs. She came down here in the cellar. But there may be trouble. And I don't want the boy mixed up in it if I can help.
Jimmy, Mr. Kent!
Miss Horn.
Quick!
She's calling.
Quick!
She's not here in the cellar.
Jimmy!
Where is... Great Scott, that wall.
Kent.
There's an opening in the cellar wall, and it's closing. Too late. She's down the passageway, a secret passageway under Horn House, and the wall's closed behind her. But concrete doesn't stop Superman. Not for long. Almost through. I never saw this when I was down here before. Never thought the wall wasn't solid. Well, that won't stop me. Not over 3 seconds more. Now then. There we are. Miss Horn! Miss Horn!
Mr. Kent! Jimmy!
I'm coming, Miss Horn!
Mr. Kent, what's the matter? I heard the noise.
Jimmy, he's coming down the stairs. Back to Clark Kent.
Mr. Kent, what happened? Golly, that hole, where does it lead to?
Jimmy, you're just in time. Your aunt's down there. I heard her calling.
Jimmy!
Come on.
Jimmy!
Coming, Miss Horn.
Jimmy! Jimmy! Jimmy!
Come on, Mr. Kent. I hear her. Golly, what is this place?
Jimmy, it's a secret passageway. A gallery.
Where does it go to?
I don't know. Probably down to the dock. Oh, there's your aunt. She's all right.
Aunt Lou! Aunt Lou! Here we are.
Jimmy! Oh, Mr. Kent!
No, it's all right, Miss Horn. What's happened? Are you hurt?
No, I'm not hurt, but they've gone. They've got away.
Who's gone away? Mr. Kent, look.
What?
There's open water right ahead. We've come out under the dock.
Miss Horn, tell us quickly what happened. Why did you come down here?
Well, just after you left to go to the lighthouse, I heard that same noise down the cellar. I declare it frightened me, Mr. Kent.
Why didn't you stay in the kitchen? We warned you.
When someone's making free with my cellar, I should say not. So I just locked Tiger in the closet. Down I went. And this time I caught him. Red-handed, too.
What? Aunt Lou, the telephone bell. You rang it.
I heard what Mr. Kent told me, and it's just what I did. I knew you'd come.
Oh, Miss Horn, go on. These men. What were they doing?
There was that big opening in the cellar wall, and I popped right in.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Kent, they he was dragging a big box right down through this gallery towards the dock.
Listen, what's that?
It's a boat.
Smugglers. They've been using the cellar as a place to keep their stuff, and then they take it away through the secret door in the gallery. Why didn't you call sooner?
But they're right in front of me. Why, they'd have come.
Never mind that now. Mr. Kent, that boat, it got away. I can't hear it anymore.
Jimmy, you take your man back to the kitchen. I'll stay here. Maybe I can do something. Golly, listen to Tiger. Something's happened.
Mr. Kent, that man. Something's happened and Tiger's going for the man.
What man? Who are you talking about?
Come on, don't just stand there. Back up the gallery. Come on, Aunt Lou.
Go ahead, Miss Horn.
Don't hurry me. I can't stand it.
Jimmy, the dog knows you. Run ahead. Call him off. Quick.
You bet, Mr. Kent.
Hurry up.
Mr. Kent, this man. What's man? Where is he?
Oh, Miss Horn, mind that rock. That's it. We're almost there now. There's the cellar just ahead. Why, Jimmy and I found this fellow in the lighthouse. He was signaling.
Signaling?
Yes, one of the smugglers. We caught him. And then we heard you ring the telephone bell and brought him along. He's hurt.
Hurt?
Yes.
Oh, my legs. Quick, Mr. Kent.
Mr. Kent, hurry. Tiger, get down.
Keep him away.
Get down, Tiger. Get him off down.
Here's the cellar, Miss Horn. All right, now up the stairs.
Down, Tiger, down. Get down. Get down. What's the matter with you?
Crazy. That's what ails him.
Get down.
Keep him off. By Godfish, I'll have the law on you for this.
Why, who's that? Where did he come from?
Jasper Quinby, whatever in the world.
Mr. Kent, this fellow was here when I ran up. And Tiger was going for him, just like you saw.
But the other one?
He's there in the dining room on the couch.
Yes, I put him there. And that's what I get for it.
In the dining room. Where is he? I want to see him.
You stay here, Louisa Horn. I want to talk to you. What do you think I come here for?
I don't care, Jasper Quinby. I won't talk to you now, not for all the mortgages in Maine. Oh, I can't.
Mr. Quinby, that's the name. We're sorry about this. What happened?
The dog didn't really hurt you, did he?
I come here to talk to Miss Lou about her mortgage. Came to the door. And then I seen that poor feller on the floor with a dog all over him. Thought he was killed.
So you came in to help, eh?
Of course I did. Who wouldn't? Picked him up and carried him onto the couch.
Huh?
And then that there dog laid into me like I don't know what.
I'll say he did. Gosh, mister, I thought you were a goner, all right.
Queer. Tiger ever do a thing like that before, Jimmy?
Not that I ever heard of.
Listen here, I can't stand around all night. I come here to talk to Miss Lou.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you heard what she said.
Oh, won't talk to me, eh? Well, I ain't coming many more times.
Now, look here, Mr. Quinby. Miss Horn's been upset this evening. Let her get a rest.
Rest? Don't you worry. I ain't going to bother her none. I'm going right out. Right this minute. Open the door, boy.
Yes, sir. Only please don't hold this against Aunt Lou. She's just not herself.
Never mind telling me my business, young man. Just you get that there door open. Reckon I know when I want it.
I'll ask Miss Horn to get in touch with you tomorrow, Mr. Quinby.
Just a second. The door's stuck. Oh, no, it isn't either. It's locked. There. Good night, Mr. Quinby. Aunt Lou will see you tomorrow.
Maybe she will, and maybe she won't.
Gee, I guess he's pretty sore.
Is he, Jimmy? Sore or relieved?
Relieved? Golly, Mr. Kent, what do you mean?
I mean he was relieved to be getting off so easily.
Getting off?
Oh, Jimmy, wake up. Does a man pick the middle of the night in a night like this to come and talk about mortgages?
Jiminy, I never thought of that.
He says he came in to help a man on the floor being attacked by a dog. But the door was locked when you tried to let him out.
Say, that's right.
You think he rushed in and then calmly turned around and locked himself into a room with a savage dog? Well, do you?
But if he didn't...
Jimmy, that man Jasper Quinby was here in Horn House all the time. He was here, but we didn't see him. You see what that means? It means there's another secret passage in the house that leads directly into this room.
Oh, Mr. Kent, can't you do something?
Now, Jimmy, keep all this to yourself. Not a word to your Aunt Lou. Now that we know what it means.
I get you, Mr. Kent.
All right. Coming, Miss Horn. Mr. Quinby left. He said he'd see you tomorrow. What's the matter, Miss Horn?
Oh, Aunt Lou, you've been crying.
Oh, he's so white and still. Just look at him. Can't we get a doctor, Mr. Kent?
He'll be all right, Miss Horn. After all, it's his own fault.
Aunt Lou, what is it? What's the matter?
Oh, don't you understand? Don't you see? You knew I was hiding something, not telling you everything.
Miss Horn.
You thought I got you out of the house on purpose, and I did.
You did?
I was afraid of this. I didn't know for sure, but when Tiger got so quiet that first night, I just knew.
Tiger? Mr. Kent, I know. Don't you remember just a while ago when we let him out of the closet? How he tried to lick the guy's face?
Miss Horn. Great heavens. You don't mean...
Yes, Mr. Kent, I do. My own flesh and blood. Running with no goods and smugglers. This is my nephew. This is Christopher Horn.
Christopher Horn. At least a part of the mystery is solved, but what of the rest? What strange connection is there between Christopher Horn and Jasper Quinby? And what was Quinby himself doing in Horn House? And why was he suddenly attacked by the dog, Tiger? Next time, more thrills, excitement. Tune in and follow the thrilling story of Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
Now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, valiant fighter for truth and justice, faster than an airplane, stronger than a locomotive, who appeared on Earth from the planet Krypton, and who walked about among human beings as mild Clark Kent, news reporter for the Daily Planet. Spending a vacation on the New England coast, Kent and young Jimmy Olsen, copy boy for the Planet City Room, have found that Horn House, the home of Jimmy's Aunt Louisa Horn, is a secret base for smugglers. When we last saw them, Kent and Jimmy had just learned that the stranger they caught signaling from the tower of the abandoned lighthouse was Aunt Louisa's nephew, Christopher Horn. And that the house itself, unknown even to its present owner, was a maze of secret passageways and galleries. Jasper Quinby, local banker, had been found in the middle of the locked kitchen and had been allowed to go before it was realized that he could not possibly have entered in the usual way. After much talk and efforts to revive the unconscious Christopher, the family had retired for the night, and nothing further had occurred. As our story continues, it is next morning. Aunt Louisa, Kent, and Jimmy are at breakfast in the dining room. Listen.
Thanks, Aunt Lou. I will have another donut. How about you, Mr. Kent?
Oh, no, thanks, Jimmy. My plate's clean, and I'm going to keep it that way. Say, by the way, Miss Horn, where did you get these plates? They're mighty pretty.
Yeah, I noticed them too, Aunt Lou. Aren't they kind of special? They look Chinese.
They are Chinese, Jimmy. My very special Canton set, only used for company.
Oh, boy, Mr. Kent, your company.
Your great-grandfather Horn brought them from China 60 years ago, along with the jade.
Jade? You mean to say you've got some real Chinese jade, Miss Horn?
Not now, Mr. Kent, but we did have. I never saw it, but land knows I've heard of it. It was the jade that was going to make the family fortune.
Where is it now, Aunt Lou?
Goodness knows, Jimmy. 60 years ago, reckon it's near 65 now, it just vanished. Clean out of sight, between the night and the morning.
Oh, Miss Horn, what do you mean?
That's what I say, Mr. Kent. Reckon I ain't lost the use of a tongue. One night it was here, right here in Horn House, and next day it was gone.
Golly. Stolen?
We never knew. And we couldn't ask because your great-grandpa was gone, too.
Gone where, Miss Horn?
Nobody ever knew till they found him 2 weeks later.
Found him? You mean to say...
Didn't your ma ever tell you, Jimmy? No, I reckon she couldn't. For her side of the family. Yes, she was dead. Lying on the beach. They found him at the ebb tide.
Sounds just like a mystery novel. And they never found the jade?
Never. More's the pity.
Was it worth much?
Worth much. My lands, boy. Jade like that? Well, I reckon it's worth its weight in gold, all right. Grandpa had mighty close to a trunkful.
Great Scott. But, Miss Horn, where did he get it?
Like I said, from China. He was a clipper captain, Mr. Kent. Every voyage he'd bring back something else. Pictures, wallpaper, dishes.
Wallpaper?
Don't shout so, Jimmy. Was mighty particular, Grandpa was. I hardly remember him myself, but I've heard Ma tell about him many's the time. Had the wallpaper made special for this very room. In Shanghai, I think 'twas.
Oh. This wallpaper here?
It's so faded now you can't make it out. But the picture on that wall shows it was the same. Why, my land.
Aunt Lou, what's the matter?
My soul and body, look there, right on the wall behind you, Mr. Kent.
For what?
The picture.
Where?
It's gone.
Why, that's so. Golly, I never noticed.
Jimmy, did you break that picture and say nothing about it?
Me? Gosh, Aunt Lou, what do you take me for, a kid?
I wouldn't put it past you. What's so? Mr. Kent, what's the matter?
He's your nephew.
Oh, Christopher.
Where's that man, that Quinby?
Why,
Oh, no, wait, take it easy. Sit down, man, before you fall. Hey, wait a minute. Lie down there on the sofa.
I'll get you a drink of water.
Christopher, you shouldn't have gotten up. You should have stayed in bed.
Never mind that. There's something I've got to do. We've all got to do. Where's Quinby?
Quinby went home. What about him?
He tried to murder me.
What?
Tried to murder me while I couldn't help myself.
Jasper Quinby? Oh,
Last night he came in and found me. I'd just come to. He tried to strangle me there on the couch. If it hadn't been for Tiger.
Tiger? Gee, Mr. Kent, that's why he went for him.
Tiger, he was always crazy about me.
Mr. Horn, I think we'd better have an understanding.
Yeah, the sooner the better.
Why would Jasper Quinby want to kill you?
Because he knows I'm on to it.
What?
He knows I know.
So, Christopher, know what?
Aunt Lou, I had to do it. I had to run with that gang till I could find out.
What? Find out what?
There's secret passages all through the house. Quinby found them. He got into the library, and so did I, but I was too late. Too late.
Christopher Horn, what are you talking about?
What am I talking about? Aunt Lou, don't you know the Chinese jade, great-grandfather jade, is right here in this house.
Why?
It
Christopher,
is.
what do you mean?
Here in the house. Great heavens.
Where is it?
That's what I don't know, but Jasper Quinby does.
Quinby? That's what he was hanging around for.
Maybe he was after it last night.
Christopher, how does Quinby know about Grandgrandpa Jade?
Ask me some more. Ask me how I know. It's in the library, Aunt Lou. It's all in the library, but they never looked
The
there.
library?
All the old log books, everything he wrote on his voyages. I was always a great reader, Aunt Lou. You know that.
So I should say I do.
I read the logs. I read them all. He'd written it down. Old Joshua Horn. What he was going to do.
Mr. Horn, do you mean to tell me that the hiding place of the Chinese jade is in old Captain Horn's logbooks?
Wait till I tell you. I read them all. I got closer and closer, but when I came to what I needed most, the pages were missing.
What?
Torn out. And do you know who'd taken them? It was Jasper Quinby. Somehow he knew. Don't ask me how, but he did.
Quinby's. Bad lot. All of them. Our people always had trouble with Quinby's. Even way back.
And that's it. Maybe Jasper heard it from his father.
Mr. Horn, what was in those logbooks? A sketch? A chart?
I don't know. I know everything else. I know that you can only get into where the jade is a couple times each year.
What? 10 sakes, Christopher. What do you mean?
I don't know. All I can tell you is what I read in the logbooks. Maybe it's got something to do with the tides. But that's how it is. Only a couple of times each year. And right now is one of the times.
Jiminy, then you say Quinby knows where it is?
He told me he was mighty near it. And that's why he wanted the house. He's in the smuggling racket, and he's after the jade. And that's why I joined up with him. Aunt Lou says I could find out.
Oh, Chris. Oh, Chris, I knew you wasn't really bad.
And I reckon I lost. It's too late. Quinby was in here last night. Before he come in and found me, I reckon he got what he needs. Maybe it's a chart. Maybe it's a map.
No, not a map. A picture.
Mr. Kent, what do you mean?
Don't you see? The picture on the wall. The picture that's missing.
Oh, my soul.
Golly, Mr. Kent, do you think that's it? Aunt Lou, what was it?
Why, I don't hardly recollect. Yes, I do, too. It was a picture of some gardens. The Golden Gardens, I think 'twas.
Well, whatever it was, that's where the secret is, and Quinby knew it. He took it last night. Oh, what fools we were to let him go. We might have known.
Mr. Kent, maybe it's not too late now.
I don't know. He wouldn't wait long, no longer than he had to. But he wouldn't work by daylight. He'd wait till dark. Where does he live?
Quinby?
Yes.
Land's way back in town. Big white house on the hill.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Kent, what are you going to do?
I'm off. I can't waste time now. Look after Christopher. I'll hurry all I can.
Yeah. Well, I never. On earth, what'll happen next?
Christopher, what's the matter with him, Aunt Lou?
Oh, Christopher! Oh, Jimmy!
Oh, he'll be all right, Aunt Lou. Don't you worry. Golly, look. He's right under where the picture was. Say.
Jimmy, what are you looking at?
Look, this is funny. All the wallpaper's faded out, except where the picture was. Did it hang here long?
Ever since your great-grandpa put it there.
Well, look. You can see what the pattern was just as clear as anything. My gosh, Aunt Lou.
Jimmy, don't scream like that. It's enough to give a buddy the jumps.
Aunt Lou, did you say back a while ago that the wallpaper was the same as the picture? Didn't you say that?
Well, yes, I did. Captain Joshua had the wallpaper made order from the picture. Jimmy! Jimmy, what are you doing standing on your head?
Aunt Lou, look here. Oh, my gosh, look. We've discovered something, don't you see?
See what?
The pattern, the Chinese pattern. Turn it around and it's a map. A regular map of Lighthouse Point and Horn House. Look.
Jimmy Olsen, you're out of your mind.
I'm not. No wonder Quinby swiped it. And to think it has been here all these years, just looking right at us.
I don't believe it. It ain't possible.
But it is, can't you see? And all those white lines. Aunt Lou, those are the secret passages.
Jimmy, I tell you, I don't believe it. And even if it is, what good does it do us?
What good does it do us? Don't you understand? Aunt Lou, it means that we can find where the jade is ourselves. Just by following the drawings. Right now, too. And wait. What's this? Why, there's writing all around the edge of each pattern. Wait a minute, I'll try to read it.
Jimmy, you're making that up.
I'm not. Honest, I'm not. Listen. Take twice 3 turns, and 2 turns more. The water waits behind the door. Turn 7 stones. Make haste, for then the sea too soon comes in again.
What? It sounds like silly gibberish to me. What's it mean?
I don't know, but look. See this long line leading out of the other? With a thing like a sun at the top of it? Aunt Lou, I'll bet that's where the secret room is. And you and I are going to find it, just as soon as I've cut out this wallpaper.
I don't believe you know what you're talking.
Shades of old Captain Joshua Horn. Is the Chinese wallpaper pattern really a map of Lighthouse Point? Does it chart the way to the secret chamber? What is the meaning of the strange rhyme written on the margins of the print? And what terrible secret lies in wait at the end of the winding passageway? Tune in next time for the thrilling, unbelievable climax. Follow the story of Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invites you to rocket into the future with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Stand by to raise ship. Blast off -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0!
Roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Midway in the asteroid belt, a vast scattering of cosmic fragments between the planets Mars and Jupiter, lies Prison Rock, a barren asteroid of solid rock and dead soil. Here, beneath the great plastic bubble which holds an artificially created atmosphere, live the Lifers, the most dangerous criminals in the universe. Entering the Stone Administration Building, a prisoner trustee approaches the barred door of the warden's office. A stooped, gray-haired man with faded blue eyes and a kindly face, he peers through the bars and speaks.
It's me, Warden. Hogue.
Oh, just a minute, Hogue. Okay, come in.
Thank you, sir. Happy birthday, Warden.
Why, thank you, Hogue. How did you know it was my birthday?
Oh, I've been here a long time, sir. 20 years. You get to know things in that time. I've brought you these.
Roses. Hogue, you're a genius to make roses grow on this asteroid.
Patience and hard work, sir. Sorry there's only 3 of them.
Why, they're beautiful. You know, I can't help wondering sometimes. A man with your intelligence and love of beauty.
How I could be a habitual criminal, sir?
Yes. I can understand it with a man like Bull Carson, for instance. He's a brute, a killer. But you...
I made mistakes, sir. But believe me, I'll never make another.
Unfortunately, you won't get another chance. Men who come to the Rock aren't eligible for parole. And in your case, I'm sorry. No, I mean it. You've been a model prisoner, an excellent trustee, But there's nothing I can do. Well, thank you again, Holt. I won't forget your thoughtfulness.
You certainly won't, Warden. Don't move.
Holt, where did you get that heat ray? Put it down.
Don't move or I'll kill you. Sit down. No, not by your desk. In that chair there.
You must be crazy.
No, Warden. I've waited 20 years for this, planned every move while I rotted here. I'm leaving this rock.
You are crazy. There's no possible escape from this asteroid. You know that.
Oh, there's a way, Warden.
Holt, do you realize there's a patrol rocket on guard outside our atmosphere shell every minute? They'll blast any ship that tries to get through to help you.
No ship's going to get through. It's the patrol rocket we aim to use.
What are you talking about? Holt, put down that ray gun. The guard will be here any second.
No, they won't.
No, don't.
Okay, Bull.
Got him, eh, Hog?
Naturally. He's trusted me for years. Wait, I'll open the door for you.
Good boy. Is he dead?
I don't think so. How about the guards?
We took care of everyone, the crumbs. It was easy the way you set it up. Except for the 6 guys with us, the other cons don't know what's going on yet.
Good. If they knew we'd have trouble, they'd all want to go along, and there's only room for the 8 of us who've had experience as rocketeers.
You're sure you can work it? We get the patrol to land here without them suspecting nothing.
Leave it to me. I know the code signal, everything. Tie up the warden. I'm going to the communications room.
Control deck. Come in, Tom.
Controller Guy, what'll you have?
Roger Manning craves some excitement, Junior. Aboard Sully.
We're on patrol over Prison Rock, Space Boy, which means we just go round and round
and round and round. I wish Astro was with us. At least I could insult him.
Don't blow your jets. Just 2 days more and we can go back to the academy.
It'll seem like heaven. Hey, wait, Tom. There's a message coming in. Call Captain Andrews.
Now, here's the captain now. Message coming in, sir.
Very well, Corbett.
Patch it down, Manning.
Here it comes, sir.
Calling Patrol Rocket. Code 16. Come in, please.
That's the Prison Rock code signal. Patrol Rocket Polaris to Prison Rock. Go ahead.
Emergency here, sir. The warden is very ill, and the medical officer says he must be taken to Marsport at once. Our operating facilities aren't adequate.
Can the warden speak to me?
No, sir. It's very urgent. The medical officer says every minute counts.
Very well, we'll come down at once. Have the warden ready for immediate travel. End transmission. All right, cadets. Prepare to put down on Prison Rock.
Well, Hogue, what happened?
The rocket's coming into land, Bull.
Great. How many men on the patrol?
Usually just an officer and 2 men.
3 of them. Let's get the reception committee together. This'll be a cinch. We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Attention, all spacemen. Take advantage of this special offer. The greatest offer ever made by Kellogg's Pep. It's your opportunity to get official Space Cadet goggles. That's right, official Space Cadet goggles. The same kind of goggles worn by Tom Corbett out in the farthest reaches of space. Listen to this official description of space goggles issued by Space Academy Supply Headquarters. They're made out of one sweeping curved plastic plate, like one giant bubble that fits right over both eyes. Space goggles provide for a full range of vision and can even be worn over eyeglasses. Space goggles are issued in regulation colors. Now, spacemen, you want to wear your goggles anytime you're racing into the wind, on skates, on a bike, in a car. Get your space goggles now. Here's what to do. Get a box of delicious Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal. Then, you'll not only start the day with a spaceman's breakfast, swell-tasting Kellogg's Pep, but you'll also have a box top to help you get your goggles. Now, here's how. Send 25 cents. 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Repeat, 25 cents. 1 Kellogg's Pep box top, your name and address. Send to this address. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Don't delay. Get your space goggles today.
convicts have seized control of Prison Rock and have decoyed the patrol rocket Polaris manned by Captain Jeffers, Tom Corbett, and Roger Manning to the asteroid. Now on Prison Rock, Captain Jeffers has gone to the warden's quarters, leaving Tom and Roger with the Polaris. An unnatural silence seems to brood over the grim space island of solid stone cell blocks.
It's taking Captain Jeffers a long time to get back, Roger.
Well, the warden's sick, Tom. They got to get him ready for the trip to Marsport.
He was supposed to be ready when we landed. Say, doesn't it seem awfully quiet to you?
The guys in those cell blocks are here for life. What do you expect them to do, sing for joy?
They made a fair amount of racket last time I was here. Seems to me there were more guards in the compound that time, too.
Well, what do they need guards for? There's no place for the convicts to go, even if they broke out of their cells.
I suppose you're right, but...
Wait, Tom. Here comes somebody.
Oh, it's that trustee again. The one who met us when we landed.
Hard to believe he's a dangerous criminal.
He is, though, if he's here.
I know, but he looks like such a sweet old grandpa.
Quiet, Roger.
If you two gentlemen, please. Captain Jeffers wants you to join him at the warden's quarters.
Both of us?
Yes, sir. At once, he said.
Come on, Tom.
Oh, wait, Roger. It's against regulations to leave the rocket unguarded.
It'll be quite safe, sir.
Maybe, but just the same.
Oh, wait, Junior. Orders are orders, especially from Captain Jeffers.
Well, okay. Be right back.
Hey, what now?
Forgot something on board the Polaris. Be with you in a second.
It'll be your fault if Jeffers fuses our jets. Say, the air's pretty good here. Better than most places with an atmosphere shell, Mr.
Myron Hogue is the name, sir. Yes, our air plant is quite efficient. That's it over there, beyond the main cell block.
Uh-huh. Gosh, it's quiet here.
Well, sir, when men are resigned to their fate.
Oh, sure. Hey, Tom, what's keeping you?
Coming, Roger.
Oh, hurry up. Want to get us into real trouble?
Trouble? Oh, that's something we never have here. This way, gentlemen. In here, please.
What the... Tom, look, in the chair. It's the warden, tied and gagged. What's going on here?
Outpost, sonny boys. Nice work, Hogue.
A big guy with the ray. Say, who are you and where's Captain Jeffers?
Shut up. We got 'em all now, Hogue.
That's it, Ball.
Well, this works out just dandy.
Tom, the trustee's got a ray gun, too. Guess we walked into a prison break, Roger. Yeah, prize space suckers. We and the captain both.
I said shut up. We'll take these two below with the others, Hogue. Finish 'em and blast off in their rocket.
Finish us?
Keep your blaster on 'em. I'll take the warden.
Wait, Ball, listen.
It's just a guy sounding off. Come on.
No, wait. It sounds like... Well, here's Willie. What is it, Willie?
The con's in the blocks. They found out what we're up to. And they're sore. Say we ain't blasting off the rock without them.
I was afraid of that.
Get ready,
Don't
Roger.
try nothing, cadets.
Well, if they all fight to get in the rocket, we're sunk.
Yeah, where are our guys, Willie, with the guns?
In the compound trying to hold the others back, but we need help.
Come on, Hogue. We'll take care of them. Willie, you watch these space boys. If they try anything, burn them.
Okay, Paul.
We'd better hurry. Come on.
Just this one guy here now, Tom.
What move out of you and our singed and fancy britches?
I guess that's that.
We've got to do something, Roger.
Hey, what's that?
Something, Roger, now. With you, Tom. Now, Willie boy, take this. Get his gun hand, Roger. I got it. Good. This should hold, Willie.
That does it, Tom. Now to find Captain Jeffers and stop those convicts.
Wait, first untie the warden.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have you free in a moment, sir. Get his gag off, Roger. Right. There we are, warden.
Good work, boys. Come on now, hurry. Let's get on the audio channel and communicate with the Solar Guard.
Wait, sir. Captain Jeffers is...
Can't spare a second. The most dangerous criminals in the universe are loose. Follow me. Here's the communications room. We'll contact the Solar Guard. Have them here in short order.
Wait, warden. Roger, look.
Great guns.
The transmitters, everything wrecked.
We're sending no message. The convicts have been sure of that.
Well, what do we do? Hogue and Bull will blast off, and the others will finish us.
They won't blast off just yet, Roger.
Of course they will, Corbett. That was their scheme, to use the Polaris as a getaway rocket.
I know, sir, but I removed the control head and hid it in a jet tube. It'll take them a while to find it.
Hey, Junior, that was smart.
It'll only delay the inevitable, I'm afraid. Sooner or later, they'll... Wait, I think they're coming back. We can see from this window. It's Bull Carson and his crowd.
I guess they've driven the other convicts back into the cell block.
And, brother, they look mad.
Do you think they discovered the control head is missing, Junior?
If they have, we need guns. Warden, where can we find...
No good Corbett at all. First thing Hogue and Bull did was to raid the arsenal.
Uh-oh. That's dandy. Then we just wait here for those killers like sitting ducks.
This door will keep them out for a while. And we're high up for them to scale the wall.
Well, it makes me feel a little better, Warden. Snap out of it, Roger. This only gives us a breathing spell. Come on, get to work. Sure, sprout wings and fly out the window?
No, smart boy, but I've been looking over this super frequency setup. I think maybe we can patch it up enough to get a message out.
Corbett, that'd be great.
If it works. Come on, let's get to work and find out.
Here they come.
Let's get at the equipment.
Open up, Warden. We know you're in there with those space boys.
Take my advice, Carson, and go back to your cell.
Are you kidding? Open up, I say.
Hand me the power coil, Roger. Here you are.
You can't get off the asteroid, and the solar guard will be here soon. Give up and save your lives.
Listen, wise guy. We want the rocket control head. Tell us where it is, and we'll leave you be. Don't tell us. We'll blast the door open, and heaven help you then.
Uh-oh, here it comes, Tom. A ray blast.
Well, keep working, Roger. Don't stop.
We get the control head, Warden?
No! And if you'll listen to me...
Warden, get away from the door.
Those killers. If you boys can just fix that transmitter before they break in...
We're trying, sir. We're trying.
No use, Paul. These low-power rays can't knock over that door.
All right, what's keeping Willie? I sent him to the arsenal for the big stuff, the force projector.
He'll be along.
Here he comes. Willie, get a move on.
Coming, folks. This thing's heavy.
Now we've got power, home, real power. When we get that door down, watch me go to work on those cadets. Before I'm through with them, they'll wish they'd never been born.
They're too quiet out there. I don't like it, boys.
They'll just be good about 10 minutes longer. We'll have this transmitter ready to go. Hand me that frequency tuner, Rog.
Here you are. Won't be long now, Warden. We'll have the solar guard right on the... Crater's aluminum.
Get back, Roger.
They've brought up the heavy-duty force projector. I was afraid of that.
By Jupiter, Tom, now we are sunk.
I'm afraid so, Roger, unless...
How do you like that, you space mugs? Give it a moment again, Willie.
They'll be through the door in no time.
Wait, Roger, I just thought of something. Warden, can we get to the atmosphere station, shut it down?
Hey, that cut off the air supply.
Great idea, but impossible. The only entrance is underground, and the passage to it starts below this building.
Again, Willie.
By the rings of Saturn, we got to do something.
It's hopeless. In another minute, they'll have that door down.
Warden, wait. Where does the water come from to cool the air station generator?
Why, the canal which runs through the compound. You can see it from here.
That'd provide another entrance, then.
Yes.
Look, Warden. We can get out this window on our rope cable, swing the canal to the station, and shut it down.
By space, it'd work. But we've only got seconds to go. Another blast like that...
Boys, there are chemicals in that canal. Sulfuric and other acids. You'd be burned to death.
Oh, great.
Warden, you must have a couple of spacesuits here. That's regulations in an artificial air zone.
Yes.
Well, let's get them. They can stand anything but open, sustained flame. We're going swimming, Roger. Get into a spacesuit fast.
Come on, Roger. Move those arms. Swim. Yeah, but swimming in a spacesuit is like wading through Martian quicksand.
Tough, I know, but the air station's just beyond that bend, so swim.
Here they are, in the canal.
Well, spotted us.
Save your breath. Swim.
Let them have the heat rays.
They're firing.
Yeah, and coming close. See the water boil where the heat ray hit?
Get them. Get them.
Tom, the canal's on fire. The chemicals.
The heat ray must have ignited them. We're going to be burned to a crisp.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by.
When Tom Corbett and his crew blast off into space, every man on board makes sure he carries a set of official Space Cadet goggles. Every cadet wears space goggles as protection out in space. Well, now you can get these very same space goggles. Whether you're working with tools, racing on a bike or skates, or blasting off into outer space, you want to have official space goggles with you every minute. Now, here's Tom Corbett to tell you more about official Space Cadet goggles.
Spaceman, you should send for your space goggles right away, because the sooner you send in, the sooner you'll get them.
You know, these aren't ordinary goggles. Space goggles are made of one sweeping curved piece of clear-colored plastic, like a giant bubble that fits right over your eyes. I've been down to Space Academy Supply headquarters, and they've got space goggles all ready to send out as soon as you let them know where to send them. So get going, spaceman. Send for your space goggles today.
And here's what you do. Send 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep Box Top, and your name and address. Repeat, 25 cents, 1 Kellogg's Pep Box Top, your name and address. Mail to this address. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Spaceman, send for your official Space Cadet goggles now. And start off tomorrow with a bowl full of Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
In a desperate attempt to crush a convict's rebellion on Prison Rock asteroid, Tom and Roger decide to shut down the atmosphere station, which would end the revolt by depriving the mutineers of air. In spacesuits, they try to swim the canal which leads to the station, but the convicts fire heat rays into the canal, setting the chemicals in the water on fire. And now Tom and Roger are engulfed in a mighty mass of flame.
Tom, we're done for. Unless our suits hold out, mine's starting to singe. So's mine. Just get as low in the water as you can. In a spacesuit, that's like keeping a cork underwater. Only way, and swim. The water intake for the station isn't far anymore. Swim like blazes and pray. Couldn't have stood it another second. We made it, though. We're in the station. By the craters of Luna. Let's get out of this sulfuric acid suit. Better strip these spacesuits. Won't take long. There goes my helmet. And the suit's practically burned off me already. Where's the control panel? Over by the wall. You ready? Just about. Okay, Junior. Uh-oh. Company. Willie and another rat.
There they are. Get it!
Dive at their feet, Roger. Don't let them use those rays. Never a dull moment. Okay, mister. Try this for size. Sweet Willie, come to Papa, you space crumb. How you doing, Roger? Okay, Tom. Look out, Willie. I'm lowering the boom. No! There goes Willie. And here goes his playmate. Well, that's over, Tom. Not yet. Get the gang outside. Where do you turn the atmosphere off? Here. No, here. Yeah, that does it. Quick, put on a portable respirator. It's like I said before, Tom. Never a dull moment on this rock. Look, Roger, through the vent here. The convicts are starting to fold up. The revolt is over. Yeah, beautiful sight. But, Tom, they'll die without air. The warden and Captain Shepard. They're just blacking out now because the air's getting thin. They won't die. Not until we can disarm the convicts and turn the atmosphere back on. Come on, Roger. We've still got work to do.
Cadets Corbett and Manning, you did a splendid job, and congratulations. And thanks.
That goes for me, too, boys.
Well, thank you, sir.
Now, at ease. And make yourselves comfortable. We're going to be here a while yet.
Stay here? On the rock? Why, Captain?
We can't get off. While you boys were at the atmosphere station, Bull, Carson, and Hogue got away in the Polaris.
They got away?
No. The solar guard has been alerted, and Carson and Hogue should be intercepted soon. I hope.
I hope is right. See, Junior, it's like I told you. Yes, Roger. Never a dull moment.
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, on Thursday, when Tom and Roger, in peril of their lives, tangle again with the two most dangerous criminals in the universe in Part 2 of Revolt at Prison Rock. Tune in, same time, same station for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast were Jan Merlin, William Keane, James Mux, and Joseph Boland. Today's program was written by Ben Peter Freeman and directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Beck speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran, raisins and bran flakes too. They're out of this world, they're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Kellogg's raisins are honeycomb coated to keep them tender, the bran flakes crisper. Kellogg's Raisin Bran, raisins and bran flakes too. They're out of this world, they're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's.
Fed up with the everyday grind? Tired out by the dull routine? You want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, transcribed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You're alone in the jungle with three men. You know that one of them is a desperate criminal whom you've come to arrest, but you don't know which one. You have to find him before he can save himself by killing you.
Today we escape from reality into the depths of a tropical jungle in a tantalizing search for a murder, as L.G. Blockman told it in his famous story, Redwine.
Rusty little tramp freighter bumped against the rickety wharf, and I dropped from the rail onto the planking. For the first time, felt the humid heat roll out of the jungle. This was Tanjong Samar, sweltering, half forgotten, last outpost on the rubber coast of Borneo. I crossed the beach and walked up the path of crushed shells leading to a low bungalow at the edge of the jungle. The freighter would lie at the wharf for 4 hours. Plenty of time for me to get the thing over with and be back aboard when she sailed. I was expecting trouble, of course, but no real danger. I'd done jobs like this before, or at least I thought this would be the same. I thought so until I stepped up on the porch and met Herr Kurt, controller of the Tanjong Samar district.
Yeah, I'm Herr Kurt, the controller. What is it I can do for you?
My name's Paul Vernier, Mr. Kurt. I have a letter of introduction here from the Governor General. There you are.
Mr. Paul Vernier from the United States.
Yeah, the governor promised me your cooperation.
So I see. Cooperation is good, but it does not say cooperation in what?
I've come here after a killer, Mr. Kurt.
Oh? Dayaks, maybe? Headhunters?
No, this one's a civilized killer. An American wanted in San Francisco for murdering his wife. His name is Jerome Steaks.
I see. Won't you sit down, Mr. Vernier? Won't give him your call. He died in Jeffrey.
Sure, Tuan. I'll bring right away.
We'll have coffee in a moment.
Oh, nice of you, but maybe I'd better pick this guy up first. I'd hate to miss the boat and have to lay over 5 days.
You're acquainted with this Steaks, Mr. Vernier?
No, I've never seen him.
You have photographs?
Right, not. No fingerprints. Now, this happened 2 years ago. Until last month, we had it listed as a double suicide. Oh, what are you driving at, Mr. Kurt?
Simply this. There's no one in my district by the name of Steaks.
No, he wouldn't be using his own name, of course. There is an American here, though.
3 of them, Mr. Vernier. Employed as foreman on the Kota rubber plantation here at Tanjong Samar.
According to my information, Steaks came here from Batavia about 6 months ago.
They all arrived 6 months ago on the same boat. The Kota company is just going back into operation, you understand?
I see. Well, according to people who have seen him, Jerome Steaks is a man about 35 years old, of medium height, slight build, pale complexion with black hair and mustache.
Amazing. Any one of these men might fit that description, except that all are clean-shaven and heavily tanned from the tropical sun. Furthermore, Mr. Fenner, all three of the men have light blonde hair.
Side Julie, she just paper.
Good. For 2 cups. I won't bring your baggage up from the wharf, Mr. Fenner. It appears your business may take a little longer than 4 hours.
I'm certain of the information I got in Batavia. I know the man's here.
Then the problem resolved itself into a matter of identification.
Yeah, an hour's talk with the three of them ought to do that.
I doubt that, Mr. Fenner. The swarms here at Tanjong Sama are infested with fever. Cream. It is always hot, like now. And the jungles back there swarm with krites.
Krites?
A deadly little snake no longer in your forearm. There you are. And in the rivers, there are crocodiles.
So?
Men rarely come here unless they are running away from something, trying to lose their past. I think you'll find all 3 men have manufactured stories. So, I was want to choose.
Well, sometimes a man can be identified by his personality.
And the personality of this man Steeks is something out of the ordinary.
Well, a foreman on a rubber plantation, yes. I doubt if all 3 of these men can be aristocrats. And in a sense, well, that's what Steeks is, a cosmopolitan. He's lived all around the world, always associating with top society. He's a lover of fine foods and wine, speaks French and German fluently.
What's wrong?
Well, he's a gourmet, a bon vivant, a man of perfect taste in clothes and manners.
And a murderer.
Yeah, and a murderer.
Yeah, well. When the 3 men return this evening, I shall be most happy to introduce you to them, though it's quite probable they are aware of your identity already. My houseboy there told me you were a detective before you stepped off the wharf.
Oh, I see. So, in other words, the murderer probably knows who I am and what I'm here for, but I haven't the slightest idea who he is.
Exactly. It's quite an interesting thought, isn't it? More coffee, Mr. Fenner? Mr. Fenner, I should like you to meet Mr. Doran.
Hi, Mr. Fenner.
Oh, this is Mr. Wainwrighting.
Mr. Fenner. My name's Prale. Glad to meet you.
Same here, Mr. Prale.
Might as well drop the mister. We don't use him much around here. I'm Prale. That's Doran. That's Wilmerding. You're Fenner, if it's all the same to you.
Sure, Prale. Why not?
Now, you gentlemen will excuse me. I have a number of things to do. Will you bring Mr. Fenner to my bungalow for dinner? We'll celebrate having a guest in Tanjong Sama.
Yeah, sure. We'll see you.
Herr Kurt tells me all 3 of you are Americans.
I don't know whether I'm still one or not. Haven't been to the States in 7 years.
Oh, 7 years, huh? And you're an old-timer here, Duran.
No, not here. Australia. But don't get him started, Fenner. He'll spend 2 hours telling you how he lost his shirt trying to raise sheep down there. If I had either money or sense, I wouldn't have come to this stinking hole.
Oh, I wouldn't say you fellas had it too rough. I've been noticing those empty bottles there on the shelf.
What do you mean, Fenner?
Paul Masson, 1936. That's good champagne. You boys are living like connoisseurs.
Oh, no, you're overrating us, Fenner. Those empty bottles were already here when we came.
Oh?
Just never got around to throwing them out. Prale is the only connoisseur in the bunch. He can tell you anything you want to know about wines. Yeah, or about anything.
Dry up. Just because a guy happens to know a little more than somebody else, there's no reason to keep riding him all the time.
We sure knew some way to make ice. Getting plenty fed up with warm beer day in and day out.
Yeah, that would get pretty tiresome. I think I'd switch to Chambertin or Chablis or something.
Come again?
Well, I didn't necessarily mean those in particular, but there are quite a number of wines that are even better warm than they are chilled.
No, you're in the wrong place, chum. You wouldn't know what to do with them if we had them. This is strictly a beer and gin crowd. Well, there'd be no kick on that if we had some ice to go with it. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a cold, frosty bottle.
Oh, relax, will you, Wilmerding? You're making me thirsty. How about some music?
Music? Does one of you play some instrument?
Sure, Prale. He's terrific on that phonograph over there in the corner.
Oh.
Only trouble is he thinks 3 o'clock in the morning is the greatest song ever written.
Well, I can see that would lead to quite an argument, Doran. Particularly if you're a lover of the classics.
No, I don't go for that long hair stuff.
Oh.
But I would like to hear a fast number once in a while that's less than 10 years old.
Yeah, you ought to see this collection Frail dragged up here from Batavia. Strictly from the gay 90s.
Frail, you don't by any chance have a number called Il y a un héritier dans cette maison?
Yeah, some Italian opera.
Oh, no, it's French.
Well, come on, Braille. Translate it for us. You claim to be an expert on the French language.
Oh, it's worded kind of funny, like poetry.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, the last word, though, maison, that means house. I know that.
Well, that's too bad. I thought maybe Jerome Steeks might translate it. It refers to him, of course.
What are you talking about?
The sentence reads, there is a murderer in this house.
Huh?
Well, so you're finally coming out in the open, huh?
Yeah.
We heard you were a detective, Rene.
You're after some killer you've never seen named Steeks. You figure one of us is it.
That's right, pal.
And the guy you're after is Wilmerding.
Are you crazy?
Who ever heard of anybody with a name like Wilmerding unless they made it up?
Made up nothing. I got a passport to prove it. What are you trying to do, Frail? Turn attention away from yourself?
I got nothing to hide. It's either you or Duran.
You can leave me out of this right now. There's plenty of people in Australia who can tell you who I am.
Unfortunately, though, there's nobody in Tanjong Samar who can tell me for certain who any of you are. One of you is a murderer, and by the time the boat gets back here, I'll know which one. Either I'm going to take Jerome Steeks back to San Francisco, or I'm going to kill him trying to. You can count on it. Well, what do you say we go on over to Kurt's bungalow and have dinner?
That's Wilmerding's room there. Duran sleeps here. And Frail on down at the end. And this is the guest room.
Oh.
At least the only guest room that's usable at present.
Looks all right.
Well, it's yours for the time you're here, Mr. Veneer.
Or do all of these rooms open out onto the porch?
Yes, the veranda, as we call it here.
And there's no way to lock this door?
Unfortunately, no. Anyway, the windows are covered only by mosquito netting. It makes another interesting situation, does it not?
Yeah, I suppose interesting is the word for it.
Most likely all these gentlemen are acting to a greater or lesser extent, which of course makes your problem exceedingly difficult.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Kurt, you did say a man rarely came here unless he wanted to lose his past. And yet, you're here.
Yeah. That is true. But then, I'm only a servant of the government and have little choice when I'm here. No? Well, good night, Mr. Veneer.
Good night, Mr. Kurt.
I trust you'll have a very comfortable night.
Thank you. I sat there for a long time after Kurt left, trying to figure things out, getting nowhere. This was Borneo, and though the Coleman lantern on the table at my elbow threw a blaze of white light into every corner of the room, outside that light lay the dark veranda, and beyond that, the jungle. Gradually, the night breeze brought the smell of the jungle into the room, as rich and as exotic as the scent of taboo, fragrant as midnight orchid, as disturbing as the scent of danger. Or maybe it was danger itself I was smelling. Oh, a heavy knife missed my throat by 2 inches, thudded into the bamboo partition and stuck there, quivering. I doused the lamp in one sweep, dropped down on the floor, and slid my .38 out of its holster. I could hear nothing but the rustle of palm thatch along the eaves, low creaks from the pilings underneath the bungalow, the soft night sounds from the jungle. Finally, I slipped my shoes off, pulled the knife out of the wall, and dropped it in my pocket, moved to the door, and stepped quietly out onto the veranda. It was empty. Across the railing, the fringe of undergrowth was dappled in silver moonlight. Nothing moved. I paused quickly at the 3 doors, and from each heard the sound of snoring. One of the men was faking, but which one? I'd reached the end of the porch when my eye caught a slight movement in the banana clump a few yards from the steps. Someone was hiding there. I moved swiftly, holding the gun ready. Came within a few feet before I could make out a shape in a red and white sarong, complete with dark, tumbled curls and a flower behind one ear. It was a girl.
Please, Tuan, the gun. You are going to shoot me?
No, relax, honey. He's looking for somebody else.
Oh. And now you have found Milana, so you are disappointed?
Well, Look, did you see anybody moving around up there on the veranda a while ago?
Only you, Tuan. I became frightened and ran to hide.
Frightened? Why?
I should not be here. At night, I mean. Oh, let us talk of something else, huh?
All right, Milana.
Tuan, do you like Milana, perhaps?
Definitely.
Why do we not go somewhere else? Along the beach, perhaps? You would like that?
Mr. Fennier is too serious-minded for such things, Milana.
Oh, Mynheer.
Well, Mr. Kirk, join us, won't you?
Thank you. Milana, go to the bungalow at once.
Yes, Mynheer. Yes, I go. I go immediately.
She has no business being out alone at night. But, Mr. Fennier, is something wrong with your room? It's not comfortable?
It was until this flew in through the window.
A knife?
Yeah, a throwing knife. Ever see it before?
Oh, yeah. It's one of the collections there in the bungalow. The Americans throw them at targets every evening and wager on the results. I believe Mr. Doran brought the other two.
What about you, Mr. Kurt? Do you ever bet with them?
It would be too easy. Watch.
Well,
I learned to throw a knife in Java many years ago.
And Milana, I suppose she's an expert at it, too.
Milana knows nothing of knives. Her greatest accomplishment is that of making friends too easily.
I see. Just who is she anyway? Does she live here?
Yeah, she lives here. She is my wife.
Your wife?
Exactly. My wife. Good night, Mr. Fennier.
When I finally turned in that night, I didn't make the mistake of lighting the lantern again. Being a target once in an evening was enough. I undressed in the dark, pushed the bed up to block the door, propped a chair against the windowsill, and lay down on the floor. I kept trying to fit some theory together to account for the things that had happened. When I drifted off to sleep, I was no nearer any answer than before. I woke up with the first light of dawn. For a full minute, was ready to predict a peaceful day. And then I turned my head slightly and saw it. On the floor, against the wall, 18 inches from my left hand, its eyes open and unmoving, lay a krite, first cousin to the cobra, the deadliest snake in Borneo. Cold sweat broke out on my forehead, ran into the corners of my eyes. Not daring to make any sudden move, I slid my right hand slowly up behind me and found my gun under the pillow. The snake moved slightly. I froze for one long minute. Carefully, I brought the gun over until I had the ugly head centered above the foresight. Then...
Who fired the shot?
I did, Kurt, in here.
Hey, Kurt, what was shooting about? I don't know.
Fennier, all right.
Oh, sure, Kurt. Come on in. I had an early morning visitor there on the floor.
God, Krite. Did he bite you?
No.
What the devil told the racket of...
Snake. It's funny.
What's funny, Durant?
A cried Wilma thing. Just killed one here in my room.
Well, there's plenty of them around, but I never heard of one crawling into a room before.
I'm not sure it did crawl in.
What do you mean?
I've got an idea it may have been dropped in through the mosquito netting there at the window.
Yeah? By whom?
By a guy named Jerome Speaks. Ever hear of him, Duran?
Why don't you pick up Wilma Ding? He's your man.
Oh, sure. I always carry a couple of snakes around in my pocket just for luck.
What I want to know is who carries this around in their pocket for luck.
It's one of our knives in the living room. We throw him at a target.
Yeah, I know. Only last night I was the target.
And Prail's your boy. He's an expert. Wins every time we play.
Dry up, Duran.
Listen, young man.
Relax, all of you.
All right.
So nobody knows anything about these accidents. They just happen. But here's a warning to whichever one of you is Speaks. The next time, you better cover yourself. I'm through being a clay pigeon. From now on, it's going to be a lot tougher. A whole lot tougher. That day passed. The next. I got exactly nowhere. Things didn't fit. Didn't add up. I saw Nilana several times, but had no chance to speak to her.
When Herr Kurt was with me, she'd pass without a glance. But if I was alone, she'd manage a quick, provocative smile that sent shivers down my spine. By the fourth day, the tension among us had grown almost unbearable. The steamer was due the next evening on its return trip to Batavia. I needed a break of some kind, had to have one. Well, it came at dusk when I dropped into my room to change for dinner.
Tuan. Huh? It is I, Nilana.
Nilana, what the devil are you doing here?
To see you, Tuan. Does that make you unhappy?
No, but I doubt if Herr Kurt would think much of the idea.
Oh, no, he must not find out. That is why I hide here and wait for you.
But he may walk in here any moment.
That is true, Tuan. It is why I cannot stay now. But I wish something to ask you.
All right, honey, shoot.
It is true that you look for a man who has killed a woman in all United States?
Yeah, that's right.
A man who now names himself by another name?
Yes, no,
It is perhaps the same one who one night threw the knife at you?
Yeah, I think so. Do you know who it is?
I saw the knife thrown, Tuan. I was outside.
Oh, be quiet.
Oh, it is someone.
Yeah, it's Herr Kurt. Oh. He's going into the living room.
But he will come here when he does not find you. Oh, I'm very frightened, Tuan. I must go.
Oh, no, wait. I've got to
No, there's no time now. Tonight, when everyone sleeps, wait by the tall palm at the edge of the clearing. I will come.
All right, I'll be there.
Nilana has done foolish things, Tuan. But tonight she will fix it all good. You come.
I waited for a long time in the shadow by the palm tree. Watched the moonlight sift down through the shaggy fronds. 2 hours passed. She didn't come. Waiting there, though, in the jungle night, a plan began to form in my mind. A long shot, true enough, but one with possibilities. It needed luck to work, but I'd come to the point where I had to count on a little luck. At any rate, I decided to start the ball rolling the next morning, after breakfast.
Now, wait a minute, Vernier. Let's get this straight.
I thought I put it straight enough, Duran. I said the hunt's off. I'm pulling out on that boat tonight. You can all relax.
Yeah, but 5 days ago you were so cockeyed sure it was one of us. How come the switch?
5 days ago, Wilmerding, I didn't know you guys. I was certain of the information I picked up in Batavia. And I'm not so certain of it now.
What changed your mind? A sweet disposition?
No, exactly the opposite, Frail. No, I doubt very much if any of you guys is who he claims to be. I wouldn't be surprised if Duran, Wilmerding, and Prail are all phony names, but that's not my business. I came here after Steeks. I've decided now I made a mistake, and that's that.
Wait a minute. Aren't you forgetting the fact that somebody tried to knock you off a couple of times?
Well, let's just say the reason for that was a side issue. Had nothing to do with Steeks.
You come in here, push us around for a week, and then decide it was all a mistake.
I'm sorry, Prail. And look, I'm going to try to make up for it this evening. I'm throwing a dinner party at Herr Kurt's bungalow before the boat leaves tonight. You're all invited.
Yeah, now that's pretty decent of you, Vernier.
I'll get some food and drinks from the captain as soon as he docks. If you're as fed up with rice offal and warm beer as I am, you'll be ready for a change.
Sure is all right with me.
Good. And it's all settled. And I can promise you at least 2 surprise dishes. Maybe 3 if you care.
I beg your pardon, gentlemen.
Oh, Herr Kurt, come on in.
I was wondering if any of you had seen Nilana this morning.
Not me.
Well, what's wrong, Herr Kurt?
I'm rather concerned about her, Mr. Vernier. She has not been home since early last night.
I had a couple of ideas about that myself. Ideas I wished I didn't have. Anyway, as soon as the rest of the bunch went about their business, I began my own search for Nilana. I didn't know the country, and it was nearly dusk before I found her. Then I said nothing about it to anyone. But sitting at the table that night while the dinner party moved along, I was seeing everything through a haze of red. The same color as the red in the sarong wrapped around the slim figure of the beautiful girl. I kept thinking how she'd never smile anymore, how she'd never walk in the moonlight again, because somebody had cut her throat.
I know a story along the same lines. I never heard that one before.
What a dinner. Oh, after 6 months of rice stuff, I like to go crazy about it. Yeah, when you throw one, Vernier, you really throw it. That's right.
This is only the beginning.
Beginning? Where can you go from here?
Well, right now, for instance, roast pheasant. All right, Wong, bring it over.
Sure, Tuan. Right away, I'll bring.
Oh,
Like for me to put here for you to carve, Quan?
No. I wonder if you'd mind carving it here, Kurt.
Not at all, Mr. Fennier. I should be happy to place it here, Juan.
Boy, I haven't had a roast pheasant since Australia. He used to shoot them all the time.
Even the smell's enough to drive you crazy.
You said it, player.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. The pheasant is the main dish, so the two surprises go right along with it. Wong, bring it out.
Sir, Quan. I'll bring right away now.
Careful, don't drop it. There we are. Thanks. Well, there you are. It's Chambertin, vintage 1911. Unquestionably the finest red wine that exists in the world today.
Holy smoke, where'd you get it?
Oh, I found out on the trip in the captain of the steamer had a few bottles. Took a lot of talking to get one out of him, but I'll open it, Wong. Have you got the glasses?
Yes, Quan.
Good. Well, boys, you may go back to warm beer tomorrow, but you got the best tonight. Now, Wong, show him the second surprise.
One big bucket ice.
Ice! Real honest-to-gosh cracked ice. Oh, I haven't seen a chunk of ice for 6 months.
Oh, I thought you'd go for that one. All right, Wong, serve the wine, will you?
Yes, Quan.
You know, it was pretty amazing to find 1911 Chambertin on a little tramp freighter down here in the South Pacific. The stuff's so rare, it's hard to get at any price anymore.
Maybe so, but that ice is what gets me.
Yeah, that's it, Wong. Dump plenty in mine.
Oh, Wong, stop that. What the devil are you...
What's the matter, Wilmerding?
Why... Well, what I mean is...
You mean you're well aware of the fact that ice kills the bouquet of Chambertin? Isn't that it? Steaks?
Steaks? You mean Wilmerding?
Yes. Once a gourmet, always a gourmet. A crook with enough sense to keep his hair dyed black for years so he could become a natural blonde if he ever had to make a getaway. But not enough sense to keep still and let me ruin a bottle of wine. Hey, easy with those hands. Don't try reaching for a gun.
Let him reach what, Mr. Fennier?
Kurt, no. Put down that knife.
Look out, Van He's going for his gun. Too late.
Kurt. Good Lord, Kurt, you've killed him.
I'm sorry you do not have our prisoner to take back with you, Mr. Fennier. But I, too, found her body. I knew you had been there. I saw your footprints.
I'm sorry, Kurt. And
She'd been seeing Wilmerding. I had guessed it was one of them. And apparently she found out he was Steaks.
Yeah, I know. That's what she was going to tell me, only he didn't give her a chance.
She was young, Mr. Fennier. Foolish, perhaps. But I loved her very much.
Hey, look. He knocked over that bottle of wine. It's pouring out all over the place.
Yeah. Brother, what a mess.
Yeah, Dorian. It's quite a mess. Only one thing, though. Not all of it is red wine.
Escape is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Today, we have presented transcribed Red Wine by L.G. Blockman, adapted for radio by Morton Lewis and Les Crutchfield, with editorial supervision by John Dunkel. Starred as Paul Vernier was Jeff Chandler, with Barry Kroger as Herr Kurt. Featured players were David Ellis, Lou Krugman, Jack Crucian, and Lorette Philbrand. Goodbye, then, until this same time next week, when once again CBS offers you Escape.
Instant Ralston and regular Ralston, the hot whole wheat cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are on the planet Mars, searching for Carol in an underground storage room filled with ancient, musty books.
Suddenly, a sound that's more than a sound presses down upon them.
Commander, my head hurts.
So does mine.
I can hardly stand it. What's causing it, sir?
Ultrasonic vibration.
Yeah, but where are they coming from?
From the resonator up near the ceiling. The vibrations kill insects that attack the old documents.
What'll it do to us?
If we can't shut off that resonator, we'll meet the same fate as the insects.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Martian Masquerade. Time's up, Space Patrollers. This is the last call for the terrific MonoView Outer Space Helmet. Yes, this is the last week we can tell you how to get one. So, fire rockets! And get going, because I don't want any of you to miss out on the fun you can have with an outer space helmet. Now, just think, you can go off on imaginary trips anywhere in the universe through the eyes of that one-way eye plate. You can see everything clearly, but strange and different. A real spaceman's eye view. And with your helmet on, you'll look like an honest-to-goodness spaceman, too. It's a foot high. It slips over your head, rests on your shoulders, covers up your entire head. And that one-way eye plate is like magic. It lets you see out, but nobody can see in. Nobody can tell who you are. And what's more, it's got real-looking oxygen tanks, breathing tubes, and a crackling red and black lightning flash hood printed right on. Yes, sir, it's just what the spaceman ordered. Now, remember, this is the last time we can make this offer. So better swing into action right away. Buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address and an instant or regular Ralston box top, send 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Martian Masquerade. In Commander Corey's central office at Space Patrol headquarters on the man-made planet Terra, Cadet Happy is attempting to explain a sudden change of plans to Carol Carlisle, daughter of the Secretary General of the United Planets.
Well, that's about all I know, Carol, honest.
But I don't understand.
Oh, here's the commander. He'll explain it.
Explain what? Hello, Carol.
Good morning, Buzz. Hap's been trying to tell me that we aren't going to Jupiter.
He's right.
Oh, no.
I've been trying to reach you all morning. Something came up at the last minute. Happy and I have to blast off for Venus right away.
But why, Buzz?
I'm to meet Captain Hallcroft there and pick up some designs for a new secret weapon. Bring them both back to Terra.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess I bought a lot of new things for nothing. No trip to Jupiter.
Well, you'll make the trip all right. I've arranged passage for you in the Solar Queen. Happy and I'll join you in a couple of days after we get Captain Hallcroft safely back to Terra.
Meanwhile, on Venus, in a shabby room at the Venus Plaza, Zyla Kermody sits dejectedly before a dressing table, gazing at her reflection in a mirror. As the door opens quickly behind her, she turns to greet her husband, Earl Kermody.
Well, where have you been?
Where have I been? Where did you hear it?
I'm waiting. I've been waiting in this rat trap all day and without a thing to eat.
All right, don't jump down my throat, son. Give me a chance to tell you the news.
Look, Earl, all the news I want from you is when do we get back to Mars?
That's what I want to tell you. Look at these spaceship tickets.
Well, I won't even ask where you swiped them.
Wait a minute, I didn't steal them. They were given to me by a fellow who wants a certain job done.
Yeah?
Yeah, and if we pull it off right, there's 20,000 credits in it for us. Maybe more.
What kind of a job?
All we got to do is go over to Venus City Space Hotel and remove some documents from one of the guests. Some plans of some kind for a secret weapon. They're in a plastic case, just like this one.
Who's got the documents?
Captain Hallcroft. I got his number and everything.
Captain Hallcroft?
Yeah, he's a Space Patrol courier.
Well, are you out of your mind? That's all we need to get into a jam with the Space Patrol.
Zyla, honey, let me finish. There's no danger at all. That is, if you help.
I don't want any part of this.
Wait a minute. Let me show you something. Here, look at this picture.
Why, it's one of my pictures. Hey, it's not me.
Don't you know who this is? It's Carol Carlisle, the Secretary General's daughter. I always said you looked like her.
You really think so?
Sure. A lot of people think so.
Well, of course she wears her hair different, but I could fix mine.
Of course you could, honey. Now, look, all you got to do is get Captain Hallcroft out of his room for a couple of minutes. Then I go in and get the documents.
You mean I pass myself off as Carol Carlisle? You are crazy.
I tell you, there's no risk at all.
How do I get into the Venus City Space Hotel in the first place? Sneak through the freight chute?
No. Look, I've taken a room across the hall from Hallcroft. As far as the hotel staff is concerned, you're Mrs. Donahue.
Where'd you get the money for the room?
From the same guy who gave me the spaceship tickets.
Oh, who's that?
Now, he's a guy working with our old pal, the Martian book dealer.
Scavlin?
Well, Scavlin's just a go-between. But we're to take the documents to his shop in Lowell City on Mars. That's where we'll collect the 20,000 credits.
20,000.
And all you have to do is play Carol Carlisle for 10 minutes.
Oh, you don't think this captain would leave his precious documents unguarded for anybody but the Secretary General's daughter, is that it?
He might. But if we hold an ace, why not play it and be sure? Now, here's the way to work.
Elsewhere, in a room on the 28th floor of the Venus City Space Hotel, young Captain Hallcroft tries to read a technical journal. But his eyes keep wandering to the ray gun handy on the table beside him and to the drawer containing a case of valuable documents.
Yes?
I hate to disturb you, but I wonder if I could ask you a favor.
Well, what kind of favor?
I seem to be locked out. The electrolock's stuck, I think.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll phone down to the desk and have him send a man up. If the lock's jammed, you'll need an expert.
Oh, well, that's just what I was trying to avoid. It takes such a lot of explanation. You see, it's not my room. Some friends of mine, the Donahues, have the room across the hall. But they're out for the evening, and I left a package in there.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I know. It sounds strange, but calling downstairs and explaining would cause such a commotion. Oh, not on account of me, but because of my father.
Your father?
I see you don't know who I am. Does the name Carlisle mean anything to you?
Carlisle? Your father's the Secretary General. Of course, Miss Carlisle. I recognize you now from your pictures.
Oh, you can imagine what would happen if the hotel staff found out I was here. There'd be such a fuss. I was hoping I could just pick up my father's present from the room and leave quietly.
Sure, I understand. Well, it's the room just across the hall, you say?
Just one door down. I'd be so grateful. It'd only take a minute.
Well, sure, Miss Carlisle. It'll be a pleasure.
I do hope Mrs. Donahue gave me the right key. Luckily, I saw them in the hotel dining room.
Well, if it was the right key, it should work. Yeah, we'll try it. There you are, Miss Carlisle.
Oh, now why did I have all that trouble? Oh, thank you so much, Captain.
No, not at all. Well, if you excuse me, I'll have...
just one more favor, if you don't mind. If you'll wait here just a minute, I'll give you the key and you can leave it with the clerk later. I'll only be a minute.
All right, Miss Carlisle.
Where is that package? Oh, she said in the bureau drawer. Oh, no, isn't that provoking? Captain, I'm awfully sorry, but could you come in, please?
Well, what seems to be the matter?
Oh, this drawer's stuck. I can't budge it. Would you try?
All right, Miss Carlisle.
A few moments later, Captain Hallcroft returns to his room. His ray gun is still on the table, and a quick check shows the document case is still in the drawer. With a sigh of relief, the captain returns to his book. An hour later, there's another knock at the door.
Captain Hallcroft? Commander Corey. Come in, sir.
Thanks.
Captain, this is Cadet Happy. How do you do?
How do you do, Captain?
Wasn't expecting you so soon, Commander. But believe me, I'm very glad you're here. Any trouble? No, sir. I'll take the plans, Captain. But you're still to follow your original orders, just as though you still had them. Yes, sir. Here's the case, Commander. I'll remove the plans so you can take the case with you. It's empty.
Oh, smoking rockets.
I don't understand. That case hasn't been out of my sight since it was given to me.
Have you left your room since you checked in here?
No, Commander. I stayed here on guard ever except a couple of minutes.
Where did you go?
Well, just across the hall, but I wasn't gone for more.
Well, why did you go across the hall?
Well, I guess I'd better tell you the whole story. Miss Carlisle needed help getting into a room.
Who was Miss Carlisle?
Well, the Secretary General's daughter, Carol Carlisle.
Captain, Carol Carlisle is on her way to Jupiter.
She looked exactly like her. Hair, eyes, everything.
She's an imposter. You say she had a room right across the hall?
She said it was a friend's room. Mrs. Donahue. I have the key. She left it with me.
Happy, take the key. Check that room.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Captain. We'll go down and talk to the desk clerk.
15 minutes later, Buzz Happy and the very worried Captain Hallcroft are in a surface car heading for the Venus City spaceport.
Commander, I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Well, all we can do now is find those crooks.
Well, we're looking for 3 of them, a man and 2 women. Is that right, sir?
No, Happy, just a man and a woman. The woman who posed as Carol is also Mrs. Donahue.
Well, how do you know that, sir?
I showed a picture of the real Carol to the desk clerk. He said that if Mrs. Donahue arranged her hair differently, she'd look exactly like the picture of Carol.
Oh, then she entered the hotel as Mrs. Donahue, went to the room, fixed her hair differently, and knocked on Captain Hallcroft's door, right?
And I fell for it.
You were fooled by an expert, Captain.
She had all the props, even the gift package in the drawer.
Yeah.
And while you were opening the drawer, Mr. Donahue slipped into your room and got the documents.
Well, our best bet is to try to leave Venus before the theft is discovered. If they don't show up at the spaceport, we'll start a search of the entire city.
What are we standing around for? Why can't we get aboard the spaceship?
I told you, Zyle, it's going to be late blasting off. There's nothing to worry about. Just relax. In a few hours, we'll be at Scavelin's place in Lowell City.
Look, there's that Captain Halcroft, and he saw me.
You're just imagining things. Calm down.
I tell you, Earl, it was Halcroft. He was walking right behind us. Now what'll we do?
Don't get panicky. Wait till it gets farther away, then we'll duck into this freight.
Sorry, Commander. She's sure all right.
Where?
Standing over there by the freight section.
Hey, I see her. Smoking rocket. She sure looks like Carol, all right. Uh-oh. She ducked through a door.
Come on, Hap. We'll follow them. Captain, you wait outside.
Here's the door she ducked into, sir.
Inside, quickly.
There doesn't seem to be anybody here. She must have gone through into another part of the freight office.
Somebody's behind those crates over there. Come on. All right, lady, come on out.
So I'm out.
Hey, no wonder the captain was fooled.
Well, what do you want? I haven't done anything.
If you haven't, I'm sure you won't mind coming with us.
That's where you're wrong, mister.
Commander!
Oh, you really clobbered him.
Come on, let's get out of here.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Gang, hurry, hurry, hurry. This is positively, absolutely, definitely the final week we can tell you about the terrific, the sensational, the wonderful Monoview Outer Space Helmet. So hurry, hurry, hurry. This is the last time we can offer the swell Monoview Outer Space Helmet and tell you about the swell times and the swell fun you can have with one. You know, it's the one and only outer space helmet that keeps your identity a complete secret, because that one-way eye plate lets you see out, but nobody else can see in. It's got special outer space ear plates, too. Everything you hear sounds like it's coming from way out in space. And don't you forget about those real-looking oxygen tanks, breathing tubes, and neat lightning flash hood printed on. So hurry, hurry, hurry. For only a quarter, 25 cents on a box top, you can get a Monoview Outer Space Helmet. Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then with your name and address and an instant or regular Ralston box top, send 25 cents in coin to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, the Martian Masquerade. Taking advantage of her striking resemblance to the Secretary General's daughter, Zyla Kermody helped her husband steal plans for a secret Space Patrol weapon from Captain Halcroft. A short time later, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy arrived at Venus City, discovered the theft, and rushed to the Venus City spaceport in time to catch Zyla. But while questioning her, Buzz and Happy were knocked out by Earl Kermody. Unaware of this latest development, Captain Halcroft waits for them to come out of the freight station, but as moments go by, he becomes worried and goes in to investigate, and discovers Buzz and Happy lying on the floor.
Commander, Cadet. Commander, what happened? I'm not sure.
There's a big guy with a club. First he hit you, Commander. Well, before I could get out of the way, he hit me.
Same man I saw outside, talking to the girl.
They may still be at the spaceport. We'll contact the control tower and order all ships grounded until we can make a search.
Commander, if they got away, I think I know where they might be going.
Where?
Well, when I first spotted the girl here at the spaceport, I passed by close enough to hear part of their conversation. They mentioned Lowell City.
Mars.
Did you hear anything else, Captain?
That was a name. Rather odd one. Scavs something or other. Scavlin, I think it was.
We'll check on that later. Let's alert the control tower.
All ships are grounded while a search is made for a girl resembling Carol Carlisle. Guards at all exits are questioned, but there is no trace of her. Then, following the clue offered by Captain Halcroft, Buzz and Happy board the Terra 5 and blast off for Mars. With Happy at the controls of the ship, Buzz finishes a call to Space Patrol headquarters.
Well, that's all, but remember, when you locate Miss Carlisle, ask her to call me immediately on my private frequency. Corey out.
Any luck, Commander?
Well, Captain Halcroft was right.
What do you mean, sir?
There is someone named Scavelin in Lowell City. Uriah Scavelin. He runs a bookstore.
Bookstore? It doesn't sound very suspicious.
No, in fact, it's quite innocent. So innocent that I wonder why people like our friends the Donahues would be interested in it right after pulling a robbery.
Yeah, that is strange. Well, has this Scavelin any kind of a record?
No, but our Mars agents have been to his shop several times. You see, he specializes in rare books, first editions, collector's items. When such books are stolen, our men naturally contact all dealers, Scavelin among them.
Well, have you tried having Major Robertson run a search through our master files on the Donahues?
Yes, but I doubt that anything will turn up. The woman's name is no more Donahue than it is Carlyle.
Yeah, I guess it's right.
However, if the phony Miss Carlyle or Mrs. Donahue visits Scavelin's, it'll be reported to Lowell City headquarters.
Carol Carlyle at Jupiter City headquarters calling Commander Corey, Fort Terra 5. Carol Carlyle to Commander Corey.
Corey here.
Oh, I just got your message. When do you arrive at Jupiter City?
There's a change in plans, Carol.
Oh, Buzz, not again.
Yes, and you're directly involved. Get the first passenger ship to Mars. I'll meet you at Lowell City Space Patrol headquarters.
Mars? But why are you going there?
I'll explain when you arrive.
Well, can't you tell me over the space phone?
Definitely not. Corey out.
Well, after that, I'll bet Carol will be there waiting for us.
A tall man and a blonde girl stroll down a side street in Lowell City, capital of Mars. The man carries a package under his arm, a package that might conceivably be a book. They pause before a large store bearing the sign, Scavelin's Bookshop.
Oh, wait.
Come on, Zyla. What are you holding back for?
I don't think we should go in there.
How else are we going to collect? Come on. No, here he comes. Let me do the talking.
May I help you?
I brought in that rare document I mentioned the other day, Mr. Scavelin.
Oh, let's see it.
I'll unwrap it.
It doesn't look like much to me, just a book.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Open it up.
This is a rare item.
Well, then it's genuine.
I'll drop back in a few days after I have a chance to examine it.
Say, what about our money? Where's the 20,000 credits?
Oh, you don't understand. I haven't the money to pay you for this document, but I do have potential buyers. If they are interested, they will pay me and I'll pay you.
Look, Scavelin, we ran a lot of risk to get those plans.
Alec, let's do as Mr. Scavelin says.
Oh, right. I don't like the setup.
Mr. Scavelin's perfectly reliable, dear. Now, until he contacts me, you and I better split up.
Split up? What for?
We stand less chance of being caught if we're not together. Now, you go to our old place and wait for me to call you.
Just a minute. Where will you be?
Don't worry, I'll keep in touch. Now, you run along.
Hours later, in Space Patrol headquarters at Lowell City, Carol listens to Commander Corey's account of the theft.
And you know where she is?
Yes, one of our agents trailed her when she left Scavelin's bookstore. But we don't know where her partner is or what they've done with the plans.
Wouldn't you say the plans are in the bookshop, Commander?
That's likely, but to raid the bookshop now might give Scavelin a chance to tip off the ringleaders. I'm hoping Carol can help us.
I'll do anything I can, Buzz.
I want you to go to Scavelin's and try to get some evidence. It may be risky, so I'm giving you a miniature spacephone to conceal on your person. We found out that the woman's name is Zyla Kermendy. Her husband's name is Earl.
Well, what do you want me to do at Scavelin's?
I want you to impersonate the girl who impersonated you.
Yes, ma'am. May I help you?
Have you got the money?
Money?
You remember me. I was here the other day with my husband, Earl.
Oh, yes, I remember.
I asked you, have you got the money?
The arrangement was that I am to contact Mr. Kermendy.
Yes, but Earl changed his mind. He's tired of waiting. He can sell the plans himself. He wants you to hand them over to me, now.
Why is he in such a hurry? And why didn't he come?
He's afraid he's being watched. If he came here, the Space Patrol would get Earl and you, too.
Well, if that's the way it's got to be, just wait here a moment, Mrs. Kermendy.
Oh, sure.
Kermendy, this is Scavelin. You better get over here right away.
You got the money?
No, but your wife's trying to double-cross you.
What? She come to the shop?
She's here now.
All right, keep stalling. I'll be right over.
Okay.
Moments pass in the quiet, musty bookshop. Carol waits anxiously for the proprietor, Uriah Scavelin, to return. In another part of the store, she hears a series of muffled scraping sounds, as though heavy boxes were being moved. Could it be that Scavelin really is going to remove the stolen plans from hiding and give them to her? Suddenly, the street door bursts open.
You are here, Silas. I'll fix you, you double-crossing little...
Go, you're hurting
I never thought
me.
you'd try to pull a trick like this. Wait a minute. Scavlin, where are you?
Right here. And if you're going to beat your wife up, do it somewhere else.
This isn't my wife. This isn't Zyla.
It isn't?
No.
Then who is it?
It's the Secretary General's daughter. She knows the whole setup. Space Patrol must have sent her here as a spy. We've got to get rid of her.
We'll hide her in the basement with all those old books.
Mean where you've got the secret plans hidden?
Yes. Get her down there, quickly.
All right, come on, sister. Get going. Down the stairs.
A few moments later, a Space Patrol surface car screams to a stop in front of the bookshop, and two men rush to the door.
It's locked, Commander.
I can fix that. Now, before the space phone cut off, they put Carol in a basement. Let's find the stairs.
I haven't heard a sound out of that miniature spaceophone for several minutes.
I hope we're not too late. I hear the stairs, Happy. Have your ray gun ready.
Yes, sir. Gee, this place is musty.
Yeah. Carol! Carol, where are you?
Oh, Buzz, is that you?
She's down this way, sir.
Buzz, Happy. Then the spaceophone worked after all. When they threw me down here, they broke it, and I was afraid you didn't hear me.
Where are they now?
They said something about getting a truck.
We'll get you out of here, then come back and look for the plans.
Yeah, before Scavelin and Clementi get back.
What's that?
The door closed.
Uh-oh. Looks like the boys are back. We're locked in here.
Oh, Buzz.
Now, don't worry, we're still all right. Captain Halcroft will realize there's trouble when he doesn't hear from us.
Yeah, and... Commander, my head hurts.
It's some terrible pressure. What's happening?
It's ultrasonic vibrations.
Where are they coming from?
From a resonator up near the ceiling. Vibrations kill the insects that attack these old books.
Yeah, well, what'll it do to us?
Well, if we can't shut off that resonator, we'll meet the same fate as the insects.
Buzz, I can't stand it any longer. The pain's driving me crazy.
Cap, we've got to act fast.
I can hardly move, and it sound's getting louder.
It isn't the audible sound that's hurting us. It's the higher cycles. Now, Happy, if we can move that ladder, raise it up, crash it against the resonator.
I'll try it, sir. It's heavy. Awful heavy. Commander, I can't hold it.
I'll try it, Hap.
It'll only reach... Hey, Commander, maybe I can climb it.
You'd lose your balance, sure.
You're getting it, sir. The top of the ladder is right next to the resonator. Push it hard, sir. You did it, sir. It's off. You broke the circuit.
Yeah.
Hey, Commander, Carol fainted.
I know. She'll be all right. That gives me an idea. Listen.
Is there anything in there, Scavlin?
Of course not. The walls are insulated. But I can guarantee there isn't anything alive in that room. 1 minute of those ultrasonic vibrations is all a human being can take.
You've had 5.
I'll cut the switch. Now we'll open the door and take inventory.
Yeah, there they are. The 3 of them.
Now, the best thing for us to do is to get the plans and get out of here.
Yeah, where'd you put them?
Oh, right up here in this old book.
That's all we wanted to know.
Scavlin, they're alive.
You bet we are.
Get Scavlin happy. I'll take care of Kermany. Keep an eye on him, Happy, while I take care of Carol.
I'm all right, Buzz.
Here, I'll help you up.
Oh, thanks, Buzz.
Now, Happy, I thought I told you to keep an eye on our prisoners.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I was just noticing a book here. A real old one, printed way back in 1955.
1955? Well, that's 1,000 years old.
Commander, can I take it with me to read in the ship on the way back to Terra? It looks real interesting.
Oh, what's the title?
Why Man Can Never Visit Other Planets.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
Space Patrollers, this is your commander. Now, I want every one of you to listen carefully to this message on the reminder meter. Now, listen. Here goes.
Send away today for your MonoView Outer Space Helmet.
Get it? Now, I want all of you to do just what the reminder meter says, because time is running out. This is the last time I can tell you about the sensational MonoView Outer Space Helmet, the official Space Patrol helmet that I wear on secret missions. You know, with your helmet on, your disguise is complete. A specially designed one-way eye plate lets you see out clearly, but nobody else can see in or tell who you are. Remember, too, the helmet has real-looking printed oxygen tanks and breathing tubes. Comes in mighty handy on space jaunts. And there's outer space ear plates, gleaming lightning flash hood. Yes, everything for the space patroller. Captain Tufeld, tell the space patrollers how to get one.
Yes, sir, Commander. Just buy a box of good hot Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and an instant or regular Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And send away today for your Monoview Outer Space Helmet. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are searching through an abandoned spaceship, half buried in a landslide in the mountains of Venus.
Whatever forced this spaceship to land certainly wasn't the lack of fuel. Just look at all these drums bolted to the racks.
Mm-hmm. They all seem to be full.
Commander, the ship's moving.
The dirt's getting away. We're sliding down the slope.
Commander, the fuel drums are breaking loose.
Run for the next compartment. If one of the drums hits us, we'll be crushed.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Treasure of Mount Roll Cab, when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Virginia Hewitt, Ken Mayer, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! This is Dick Tufeld in St. Louis reporting on the twin-jet Air Force fighter, the McDonnell Voodoo XF-88A. In a moment, we'll hear from the noted test pilot who flies this plane, Phil Houghton. Speed of the Voodoo is a military secret, but it's plenty fast. Wingspan is 40 feet, length 55, weight 10 tons. And now, Phil Houghton recorded this morning at Lambert Airfield.
After seeing the Voodoo, I guess you know why I like my job. There's one thing about it, though. A test pilot has to stay in good condition, get lots of sleep, and eat good, healthy food. That's why I like rice checks and wheat checks for breakfast. They've got plenty of energy in them, and they really taste swell. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So do as Phil Houghton, J. Ray Donahue, Jr., and other top test pilots do. Make your cereals rice checks and wheat checks. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.